And
Oh, please no. Oh, please, God, no. That's like everybody in my hometown. Please stop.
I was out in the field today. Saw me a snake. It's a big one.
It was a big one.
He was. Oh, he's big. He's big.
He's real big. Yeah.
He's a real big
Oh,
one.
no.
Yep. Had them little markings on his back. Think he might have
Next
been one of them there diamondback rattlers. That's what I think.
Reminds me of that
Next thing I
SpongeBob
know-
episode where Sandy turns into a total moron.
Oh, Jesus.
I forget which one it is.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Which
the
is
one
pretty
where the
amazing
scientists
because
have to
that's
come-
one smart squirrel.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hey, B just went live.
So
Yeah. Watch that.
we had started on an interesting subject. We were talking about, it started out with panic attacks and dying and blah blah blah, and how we don't want to do that. And I said, I don't know what happens after we die because we have no proof of a damn thing.
Right.
And you're not going to know until you're dead. So all I can go off of is, I don't know if you're reincarnated. I don't know if, some alien god put us here. My brother thinks that. I just don't know. And I can only go off of what I know. And what I do know is that we are driven by electricity. And like Kyle said, he said, well, it's like a computer. If you shut it off, it doesn't do much. And I'm like, yeah. So we have a switch. And if somebody shuts our switch off, what's left?
That's pretty much it,
There's two reasons why I question any of it. And I'll tell everybody why. One, I had a sister growing up who was 8 years older than me. 8 years and 4 days. We were both born Gemini. We were the only two in the family with lighter hair. We were both born blonde with big, bright, light eyes. Everybody else in the family either has dark red or dark brown hair, light brown, or medium brown eyes. Everybody, except for one grandfather, right? So her and I were born 8 years, 4 days apart, and we were inseparable. After she moved out of the house and went to college, this is what started happening to me. And I'm going to say it like that because I didn't plan it and it wasn't something that I was trying to do. But I'd be like walking through the house or I'd be outside and I'd go, hey, Ma. She'd be like, yeah. And I'd say, Susan's going to call in a few minutes. And she'd go, oh, okay. I'll go be by the phone. And the first time I said it, she was like, oh, yeah. And I said, yeah. And she was like, okay. And then the phone rang. Like 2 minutes later, like we had walked away and she was going back in the kitchen. I was back in the living room and we both like looked at each other through the doorway. Like, what the fuck? And she picked up the phone. It was my sister, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
We did that for like 3 or 4 years. I always knew when she was going to call. I always knew that she was okay. Now it gets hairier. And I know you guys think I'm nuts and that's fine. I'm totally okay with it. It's
no, not at all.
Truth. I am horrible at lying. You would know. So years go by. Her fiance's brother is getting married, and she asks me and Mom to come up and help because their family owns a big Italian, like one of the nicest Italian restaurants in all of Morgantown, West Virginia. Anyways, so they were doing the catering themselves. We go down there. We're all standing down in the basement in their like maid kind of quarters. It's pretty much what it is. And we're down in the basement, and we're all at this really long table, and we're cutting up like all the vegetables and shit, prepping stuff for the wedding. And everybody's talking. And then I'm standing there with a bunch of women. I feel awkward anyways, which I always have in a group of women. And they always stick me with that because AFAB, right? No, it doesn't mean I'm comfortable there. It's like, I'm the lipstick on the pigs. You know what I mean? Like I just felt out of place. So everybody was telling jokes. And I said, you know what? Let me run that one joke. I know this joke. Because I knew a lot of dirty jokes. I was trying to find one that wasn't dirty, which was hard in my family. So I ran a bunch through my head and I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? There's this one. So I was trying to run it through my head to make sure I had it right before I said it, because you don't want to look like an asshole around all these like rich ass fucking people and shit. And I'm like dirt poor, homegrown farmer kind of thing. And so I was running through my head. And when I got done running through my head, my sister, who was standing across from me at the table, also chopping up vegetables, laughed and said, that's a good one, B. And everybody went, like, because I didn't say anything. And my mom looks
Ooh.
at me, looks at my sister, looks at me, and grins and goes, "That's my girls." Went right back to chopping because she knew it's been happening our whole lives. Susan and I just kept going. I just looked around and went back to chopping damn carrots up, you know. So that's number one. About a year and a half after that, her and her fiance got jumped. They stopped in a bad part of town because they had some car issues. They were going to be late getting to his mom's. They got everything resolved, and they were like, "Oh, we got to stop at the next payphone. I got to call my mom. We're going to be late. She's going to worry." So they stopped at this bad neighborhood because it was the fastest way to his mom's house. And these guys jumped him.
Damn.
And now, mind you, this is a dream. I'm sorry. I should have told you guys. This is my dream.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. This is a dream. So I saw there was like 3, maybe 4 guys in this dream. I'm not sure. They like smashed the front of his little Honda Civic hatchback, pure white. They beat him up in my dream. They hit him in the face with something that looked like a baseball bat to me, and they were just holding my sister there. Well, I woke up like in a panic, of course, you know, like that was realistic. What the fuck? So I called my sister, and she goes, "Hey, B, I can't talk right now." And I'm like, "Sis, I really need to talk to you. Like, I'm not kidding right now." And she goes, "Oh my God, this is not the time." She said, "You have 5 minutes." You know what, Kyle? Fine, leave me. So she said, "You have 5 minutes." So I told her my dream, and I put all the details in. And there's Kyle back. So
Sorry.
I told her my dream, and that's okay, buddy. I put all the details in that I could, like every little thing that I could remember. It took about 10, 12 minutes for me to tell her the whole dream. And she was just dead silent. And I was like, "Oh, shit, the phone cut out or something." I was like, "Sue, are you there?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "What's going on over there? Are you okay?" And she said, "Well, if you took the axe and replaced it with a baseball bat, that's exactly what just happened." And I said, "Do what?" And she said, "I just got home from bringing Pete out of the emergency room because they had to stitch his face up. His car's destroyed."
Jesus.
And I was like, "Is he okay?" And she said, "Yeah, he's got a mild concussion, but he'll be fine." And I was like, "Okay, are you okay?" And she said, "They didn't do anything to me. They just held me and beat him up and took all our money and everything." So, moving forward, my sister dies in 2008. I'm dating this woman who I'm madly in love with. And I'm laying in the truck. This is in 2009, about 7 to 9 months after my sister died. And I'm dating this woman named Jen. And she was just the most amazing thing in the world. I couldn't quit thinking about her. And I was mad. I'm still in love with her to a point, you know. So I was thinking about her one night. I was a truck driver and I was out. I think I was in Montana or North Dakota, something like that. I don't know. And she was where she lives in Pennsylvania. And I was thinking about her. And I was like, "God, wouldn't it be great if I could just manifest her?" And I'm just laying in my bed thinking, I'm like, "How would it be great if I could Jen. Oh man, it didn't work. My phone rings and I'm like, I go, "Hey babe." And she goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, okay. That was weird. Like, I felt like I needed to call you." And I was like, "Oh shit, my bad." And she goes, "Okay, I'm tired. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm going back to sleep." And I was like, "All right, I love you." She said, "I love you too." She hung up. And I was sitting there like, damn, what the fuck just happened, right? So I waited about 3 or 4 days and I was laying in bed and Jen, about 7 or 8 times that time. My phone rings about a minute and a half later. My phone rings. "Hey, babe." And she goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Fuck, I'm tired. I love you. Good night." Hangs up the phone. I did it again. She goes, "I swear to," this is how I answer the phone. I'm like, "Hey babe." She goes, "I swear to God, if you do that to me one more time, every time you do that, it's like 3 a.m. here. I'm exhausted. I'm a single mother of 2 children. I love you. Quit contacting me in the middle of the night." She was pissed. I never did it again. So it's hard for me to believe that we're not connected somehow. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not a scientist. I haven't read science-y books outside of school and discussions with friends about science and philosophy. That's what I know. I know what I've found out throughout my life. I have no idea otherwise than that. So I just don't know. But
yeah, that's
I can't just believe we're not connected after what I just told you guys. Now imagine being the person in that situation. I don't know.
Hard to explain away.
I can't. It's impossible, man. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible.
I mean, according to like different branches of science and different quantum theories out there, everything is essentially connected in some way through like waves and particles. I don't know how that plays into the brain at all, but you know, it's within the realm of possibility, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, like I'm saying, if we haven't proved it to not be able to be true, how do we know it's not true? I just don't know. I don't know. You know, if the Bible wasn't so extremely ridiculous and far-fetched and full of fucking misogyny and death and fucking murder, you know, I might go, but it could be true, but it's just so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's just so fucked up. I don't want to even believe that anybody could have meant that and wrote it. That's all.
Yeah. Plus, the stories just show that we had no concept of the fact that we are animals. You know, the Bible shows that man is apart from the beasts. So the Bible kind of gave people from permission to think themselves higher. But when you really study science and show that, you know, evolution is a fact, you know, we are evolved creatures. Some of that mysticism just falls away from me.
Well, we do use toilet paper.
Touche. I guess we are higher up.
Never mind.
How come you've lit yourself like Satan?
Well, I mean, I have all sorts of different lights here.
Ooh.
Hey, wait, I have one of those.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Jenny.
Is it just a light bulb with the remote?
How are you?
Yeah.
The same exact light bulb.
I love you.
I
Like,
don't have any gadgets to play
It's
with.
the same,
It's the same one.
fucking name.
I have them. They're just in every other room in the house.
That's lighting the room, so.
I leave it on the light yellow and then turn it up bright, and it's just like a regular light bulb.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, that's better, I guess.
No, a little brighter.
A little brighter?
Oh, and by the way, you have four different
now
brightness
you're
settings. You can go from 10 to 40 to 70 to 100. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty good for
All of my fun
15
gadgets
bucks.
are in the living room in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Would you say?
What'd
Well,
you say, Kat?
this is my bedroom, Kat.
I know it is. I'm just saying I'm not in my bedroom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have it in my bedroom.
Good for you.
You know what? This chair's just here to do acrobats off of. Just saying. No,
Fun.
I'm totally full of shit. I've never even had sex with anybody in this fucking house except for myself. Well,
now that sounds like a goal you gotta fix. I mean,
yeah, but it's gonna have to be somebody special because this place is a fucking wreck and I'm so disorganized. I'm hoping with this ADHD meds I can order. It's like I just don't know where to put everything.
yeah.
And I accumulate stuff because I have this obsession with saving everything. And I'm like, no, I could use that old t-shirt as a rag. No,
Yeah, I'm
I
the
could
same
use
way.
that container for screws. No, I have so much plastic shit that I don't fucking need. And I have clothes I don't even wear. And the clothes that I wear get shoved in little holes because the clothes I don't use are taking up the rest of the holes. And I look at everything and I go, nope, overwhelmed. I'm done.
Yep.
I just can't. I can't.
I'm
I
there
went
with
through
you.
one day and I organized my whole entire house. Right. This is the reason feel so daunted. I organized everything. I put like all the batteries and remote controls that were extra into one container, right? I put the pens in there, like that kind of thing. Like I have
Mm-hmm.
3 containers behind my laptop right here underneath the entertainment center. And they're like my junk drawers. So I cleaned all those up. I folded everything. All my clean laundry I got folded because I usually just leave it in a bag because I'm like a dude. And I did all that and I put everything away and I cleaned the entire house and I couldn't find anything for almost a month. Everything I couldn't remember where I put it. And I was like, fuck it. I know where it is. I'm not touching it. I'm not moving it. I'm just, if I move it, I drive it took me an hour to find a pair of shoes. And I was so mentally exhausted just looking for the shoes because of my ADHD that when I got done, I never went to the gym that day. I was just like, nope, I'm done. I'm worn out.
Where did the shoes end up to be?
They were in the back seat of my truck underneath of my passenger seat.
And you put them there deliberately?
At one point, sure, but I don't remember because I'm ADD.
Okay.
That's the problem. Like you don't remember. You have to like assign this spot, and everything that goes into that one spot. And if you move it,
if you move it, it's gone. It doesn't.
I have like 6 pairs of fingernail clippers because I lose them all the time because they're small. And every time I buy a pair, I find one of the pairs I lost. Sometimes 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gone again, and I'm like, fuck, I need to go buy another pair. And I'll look everywhere, and then I come back after I buy that pair, and it's sitting right there. I'm like, I looked there. I know, and it drives me nuts.
I do that with Bic lighters.
I have trouble concentrating on what I'm looking for.
I do that with Bic lighters. I go through lighter rich and lighter poor periods. Where I just, I'll have one and I'll be desperately looking for it, and then a day or two later, I've got 8.
It's the lighter fairy. The lighter fairy is coming to steal your lighters, and then she returns them.
Yeah,
she's a bitch.
Then I do that. Okay, I'm looking for my fingernail clippers, right? And I find the cat's nail clippers, right? Because I put odds in and stuff like that and lighters in one little container, right? No fingernail clippers, but I find those and I'm like, oh, I found these. I should cut the cat's nails. They're too long right now. So then I start doing that. And then I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Now I could use a cup of coffee. I'm thirsty. So I make some coffee and then, oh, you know what? I'm hungry now. I've smoked some pot. I'm going to go get something to eat. And I'm like, what was I looking for earlier?
Yep.
You're describing my life.
Yep.
No clue. And then like a week later, I'll go, oh, I was looking for those fingernail clippers. Damn, I never did find them. I guess I'll buy another pair. It's just a vicious cycle. It's been my entire fucking life. Like 40 years of my fucking life that I can fully remember.
Do any of you have do you guys own anything that's do you have too much of anything that you own?
Oh, yeah.
I
have scrap wood that is probably not good for anything.
I have far too many plastic jars, from like instant coffee or a tub of coleslaw or potato salad you got, or things that are how can you throw that out? It's a perfectly reusable thing for decades. It could last, and how can you throw that out? And so I wash them and I stack them. And
that's what I do, but you could use that. It's a waste.
But I never do. But I still.
I know. Neither do I.
Yeah, I have $700 worth of beard oil.
Of what oil?
Beard oil.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, when I grow one, send me a good one, dude. No, actually, send me your worst one. It's free to me. I'll just take the worst one.
I would actually do that too.
You could be like my first trans guy gift. You can be the giver.
Ooh, sweet.
I got the idea. I know what beard is. I know what oil is. I can imagine the two put together. Why?
Okay, so if you ever look at somebody who has a beard that is not taken care of, it looks kind of wiry and dry.
It's like sticking out everywhere. Like
nasty. If you use oil or beard butter, not only is it better for growth conditions, it keeps the hair from splitting. It keeps it from going hard and crusty. It keeps it real soft.
So beard hair is like leans more towards like African or that harsh Hispanic hair that's really, really coarse. And if you guys notice, they put products in their hair so it doesn't do this. Beards are the same way. You got to give them some moisture. They're just drier, coarse, wiry hair.
That, and I'm addicted to all the scent profiles. Like my favorite one would be, it's called Dr. Wolf. It is blueberry, tobacco, and mahogany wood.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty good.
I have this deodorant, and it's bergamot, I think, and bergamot and lemongrass or something like that.
Ooh.
Man, that is such an amazing fucking smell. It doesn't keep me from stinking, but I put it on sometimes just because I like the smell of it.
Yeah.
If you want a deodorant that will actually work for you 100% of the time, try Lumi.
I'm telling you, I found one. I just use that.
I
swear to God, the only thing that keeps me from stinking, and it'll keep me stinking for 2 days if I go camping. I've tried it before. I've gone 2 or 3 days without a shower many times in my life. I was in the Army. I go camping. I stay out in the woods. The best I've ever found is Axe for me.
Really? Axe?
Oh,
yes.
God, that smells like freaking cotton candy. Yeah.
Cotton candy? Which one are you smelling?
Any. I only know if I want.
Fuck no, there's some manly smells on that shit. Don't get don't get no,
I think the only Axe I really like is Axe Black Ice.
Yeah.
Cotton candy.
That's actually one of my favorites. Yeah. I like the
not just cotton.
They make a body scrub, and it's a gel, but it's got those little body scrub, like face scrub beads in it, and it's meant for your entire body. I think it's Phoenix. I think the scent is Phoenix.
That is a good one.
It's too bad. It's a little strong, but for body wash, I like it. And then I like the either the Black Ice also for body wash or the Apollo for deodorant.
Well, the reason I recommend Lumi is because it's the first natural deodorant that you can put anywhere on the body, literally anywhere. It was made by an OBGYN. You can put the stuff on and you will not smell like anything.
I think I'd have to get 2 different sticks because I wouldn't want to wipe my ass with one and then rub it on my arm.
It comes in a cream tube.
Axe does not smell like horny frat. There are some cheap smells. Axe does have, I'm going to tell you, they have like 10 different smells and like 8 of them are nasty. It's true. I mean, you have to. Also, it also matters with your body chemistry. Like some things will smell really good on one person, like smell horrible on the guy next to you.
Be quiet. You said you like that bergamot smell?
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Bergamot and lemongrass. What you could just get Earl Grey tea and add a little lemon to it and then drink that smell.
Who would want to drink it? I like the way it smells on my body, not in my mouth. See, here's the thing. You know those teas that have like the flowery? They're like hibiscus tea. I'm like, I can't. I fucking can't.
Smell and taste are the same thing.
I can't. I just can't. I don't want to taste it. I do not want to taste it.
Well, I'm telling you,
everything like that. If you know what I smell automatically is my grandmother's purse with that cheap fucking rose perfume in it when I was 4. That's all I can smell, and if I drink that shit, that's all I can taste. Is like.
Well, I'm not recommending you drink.
It tastes like the candy out of Nana's purse.
I'm telling you to drink Earl Grey tea with a little lemon in it. Tea and lemon. That's not unusual.
I've never had Earl Grey. Does it taste flowery?
It's tea with bergamot in it.
I don't even know what bergamot is. I think that's what it says on the label.
It's a type of orange, I thought.
Bergamot is the thing that smells like lavender.
Oh.
People call lavender.
No, I ain't trying to eat lavender. I don't even like that lavender candy all the hippies eat. I've tried it. It's nasty. Chewing on a flower.
Violet? That violet stuff? I love violet candies.
Ugh. No. God. No.
All right, guys, stop fighting. I can't handle it when my parents fight. Stop.
A very stable milking stool. Who is that? So there's this guy, very stable milking stool in the chat. I enter and you're running stiff on your arse.
Young lady, you go to your room and just you think about what you've been saying. Don't you dare disrespect your parents anymore.
I'm not even in my room, but there's a bed right there. So
hey, you gotta let mom be the mean one because dad's gonna take you out for ice cream later and spoil you. So go ahead, mom.
Dude, I mean, why ice cream when we could just go to the bar? I'm old enough, cool. Dad. Let's go.
I didn't say what was in the ice cream.
Oh.
Make it a White Russian
Go
disguise
to the one
as
next
ice
to the
cream.
pot shop. Get some THC in your ice cream.
Yes, please.
God, do they make that? No, I do not need to buy that. I don't buy candy or brownies or nothing because I don't know how to stop eating them when I'm high.
Yeah,
I can't.
it's a problem.
It cannot be in any junk food.
Wait a minute.
If you had like THC potato chips, I would do it.
Oh no, my mic's doing a weird
candy
thing.
Or sweet shit.
I suppose you could make marijuana mash and then press it out really thin and make it into fake potato chips.
Astra.
Yep.
Well, you know what, Kyle? That's twice, and my feelings are starting to get hurt now.
You know,
Kyle,
when my mom didn't know whether if I was going to be a boy or a girl, my name was almost Kyle.
So.
And so they picked catnip instead.
Well, my name's Catherine, but.
I see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Me
That's
too.
Long and rough.
Yeah, so it's Katie for the people who know me in real life, and Catnip for the people that know me just from the internet. And I don't really care who calls me what.
We could call you Kyle if you want.
It's that might
be a little confusing.
Catnip, I will tell you in private on Twitter DM. I will tell you my real name, as long as you promise not to tell anybody. And you can.
You've already told me your name.
Oh, the whole thing?
No, I'm talking about your new name anyway.
Oh no, I'm talking about my dead name.
Well, we don't need to worry about that one.
No, it's just funny because it's worse than yours.
I don't doubt it.
It's like Roman Catholic.
Gross.
Saints.
Oh no.
Ew.
First and middle.
Oh no. Why do your parents hate you?
No, my mom ran out of names. My mom and dad ran out of names. They named everybody after somebody in our family, and they got to me and they were like, oh.
Wait a minute. A baby book with names is like 50,000 names. You didn't have that many kids.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to hop off here.
No. Hold on. Kyle, you have to leave?
Yeah, my girlfriend just got home, and she's probably expecting dinner.
Yeah, you know what?
Well, tell her I said hi.
Man. Oh, sure. Seeing you, though. Glad you're feeling
better. While
absolutely.
You're preparing, and we'll talk with her.
And before you leave real quick, if you ever want to discuss any further the stuff we were talking about before, just, Twitter.
Right on. It's always a pleasure being here.
I'm in. Yeah, I love you, man. Take care.
You're awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I love other people's girlfriends. It's like having my own girlfriend, but I don't have to deal with all the drama.
I do too, but I think it
means
something different between us.
Probably.
Go to Kentucky, they call it sherbet. Actually, they call it sherbet, and it's sherbet.
Sorbet.
I'm mad. I pout.
What's wrong, honey? You talk to Daddy. It's okay. I got you.
I'm mad because Nathaniel can't play D&D with us. Pout.
He doesn't like D&D.
Well, too bad. That's okay. So now I have.
It would be like asking me to play dolls. Like, if I don't want to do it, that's just. Don't push a motherfucker into it. It's all good.
I'm not. I'm just upset that I now have an empty spot.
I'm just teasing.
Well, sure, Dad, but it's going to give me emotional trauma when I'm older.
Yeah, I got something I want to talk about.
We're all going to have some of that. Yes.
I would like to extend my thanks to and gratitude to the Republican Party for the shutdown that's coming. I did not want to have any income for October from Social Security retirement, and I just think it's a complete waste of everybody's time that I do. So I just wanted to thank them for eliminating that possibility for me by encouraging a shutdown of the government. Was that snotty enough?
I am so glad that my husband's paycheck from the military is already almost in our account. So, which means no matter what they decide tomorrow, we still get at least that one.
Oh, mine's only 2 or 3 days away, but they're gonna fuck me. I just know it.
God.
Of course,
hate
their
it.
paycheck will not change. They will get their
Astra's,
paycheck.
Astra said ouch, and Max said preach. I'm so glad I don't work for the government anymore.
Hmm.
I didn't mean to make this a big downer. You know, you can just-
It's okay. It just reminds me of how pissed off I am.
Well, no, you're fine, Jenny. It's not that. It's just fucking irritating. And then so much goes through my head of all these problems that are going on, and then my brain starts trying to, like, I don't know, overprocess shit. And I need a minute. You did a drastic subject change on me. I wasn't ready.
I'm trying to move my eyelid out of the way because somebody elbow checked mommy while we were sleeping last night, and so my eyelid is swollen.
Aww.
It fucking hurts.
Usually fucking does. Vanta Blue, hi, by the way, says the GOP did something good lately, at least. The Arizona recount gave Biden 99 more votes and Trump 260 less.
Yeah, and Wisconsin is still plodding ahead with their attempt to do the same stupid thing. Well, I shouldn't say Wisconsin. The Republican Party of Wisconsin is plotting along to do the same thing, and they put the guy in charge of it, this former Judge Gableman, who has not been considered honest since the day he became Judge Gableman, and and he's the person who's in charge of the whole process. It's like, oh my God.
Right.
And you know, Biden won Wisconsin. Wisconsin has typically been a blue state. It's only gone red for like the last election or two, maybe. It's just insane. These people are so stupid for sucking all this in and thinking that the big fat orange guy is worth all this effort and loyalty. God.
Yeah.
So Jenny, David Worley said, sounds like everyone needs ice cream. Bad Astra said, I would want to thank the Republican Party for the rise in atheism since they brought the ingrained racism / sexism / classism of religion to the front page of all our news feeds. Right? Right? Totally worth me reading that to you.
I agree with David that we all need ice cream. Everybody.
Astra, do you need a hug? I'm really good at them. Like, I'm a great hugger.
I've had lots of
Absorbent
practice.
shoulder.
I'm also up for internet hugs.
Absorbent shoulder.
Well, that looks more
that's
like
more like attacking / grabbing someone without
that's a grapple. D&D.
without consent. It looked like like this is what it looked like, Jenny. Like, fuck.
I never went to acting school. Okay.
If you were near me, Astra, I would give you a roll hug. I'm just saying. I'd have your back. Well, I still have your back. If you want to talk, let me know. Twitter.
Oh my goodness.
Bad Astra can come in here.
Bad Astra knows that she is welcome at any time, and all she needs to do is ask. Same thing with Vanta. Same thing with David. Same thing with...
I invited myself.
I'm surprised Jay is here without Cadence. Cadence is looming somewhere. Jay said, for ice cream, Turkey Hill bourbon brown sugar is so yummy.
It's actually got bourbon and brown sugar in the ice cream?
It's Turkey Hill. It's probably non-alcoholic, but...
Hey, there's Cadence.
Aha! Do I keep track of my chat, or do I know my chat?
Jenny, do you want to play D&D with us?
Play who?
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
We should teach Jenny how to play D&D. It's fun.
I've never played it. I have no idea how it even goes.
That's why I'm asking, do you want to learn? Would you like me to teach you? Because I would like to teach you if you would like to learn.
Broad, quick baseline of it right now.
I heard it takes like this creative storytelling and story making up kind of.
No. That's if you're the dungeon master. The
That's
dungeon
the
master.
dungeon masters.
They create the dungeons. They oversee the dungeons, walk you through them, and everything. And then the
and
people in the party just go along with the story and do.
The only
take
dice
whatever
game I've ever played is craps, and so I have a problem counting over 6.
You don't have to count though, unless you have something to add to it.
If it makes you feel better, I'll do
Like
all
an
your math
attribute or
for you
something.
if I have to. Yes,
Well,
yes.
I think you'd do great at it.
I mean, it's important not to poo-poo things just because they're new and different and generations younger than you are. I don't know anybody my age who plays D&D. So, I'd be interested in seeing if I like it.
What, Elliebuck?
I really like D&D. It's
You want
a
more?
lot of fun.
Well, I guess I could have said hi. I'm sorry. I'm
Hi, Astra.
totally distracted by
Hey
the
there,
chat right
Catnip.
now. Like I clicked the button and let you in and forgot I let you. I'm so ADD. Hi, Astra. How you doing?
Hi. I
Oh
am
my god.
keeping it together.
That's good. It's important.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That child in the background sounds so cute.
She's adorable. Have you not seen her?
No, I have not
Let's
seen
see
her.
if I can
Oh
move
my
the camera.
gosh.
I cannot. Ugh. Come here, kiddo.
Oh my god, she's so cute. Hello.
I know, right?
Thank you.
She's
It's my
beautiful.
favorite thing that's ever come flying out of my body.
Piece of shit, not so much. This kid, love it.
Well,
Yeah.
then I have to ask, what was the worst favorite thing that came flying out of your mouth?
We won't talk about that.
Your least favorite thing, right?
My least favorite thing to come out of my body was the placenta attached to her because I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that would be grody.
Touche. Some cultures, they eat it.
No,
We're not
thank
talking
you.
about that right now. So anyway,
That's a good turn.
Yeah.
so what's been shaking, Astro? What have you been doing? Blah, blah.
Today, mostly just keeping up with work and lying like a little slug, doing nothing.
Oh, you were slugging? I love slugging.
Yeah. Yesterday, I had like 2 hours where I was like just manically productive at stupid shit. Like I decided at 8 p.m. That I needed to bake brownies. Have I baked in 2 years? No.
No.
Well, I also needed to reorganize my closet.
Right.
Teach Cece some new tricks. Experiment with some new dog traits that I decided to whip up myself. And like a whole host of other things that involved cleaning. And my wife was like, okay, this isn't great. You're manic. Are you okay? And I'm like, well, obviously not. I've been like this for 3 hours now.
Oh no.
Doing all the things I never do.
Yeah,
What's your
like-
first clue? Right.
Like, there's clearly a problem here. And she's like, can I do anything about it? I'm like, I don't know what the problem is. So today I was just a slug. Do I have any idea why? No. Was there a triggering incident? No. I think my brain just decided to be a dick.
Brains can be dicks. We were talking about dick brains earlier.
Yeah.
I just got this really, really uncomfortable imagery when you said that. It was never mind.
So Jay said D&D can be an amazing experience with the right group. Shared storytelling can create memories that you will remember for years/decades.
Yeah.
And yes, that's true. I have one memory, one solid, I remember it clearly, memory of Hiox, of a D&D situation. So my brother Keel came over to play with us. He was always he's manic depressant, and he would just go up and down and be mad and then be happy, and he was really hard to deal with. And this one day he was being a particular jerk and just like picking on my brother, who was the dungeon master and stuff, which he had done all of his life anyways. So my brother saw it as an opportunity. So he went to fight some hobgoblins, and the hobgoblins captured him. And my brother, the dungeon master, had them string him up to a tree, and they stuck a corn cob up his ass.
That's amazing.
So he was corn cobbed by a hobgob.
This this
And I
went
will
down
never
in-
forget that for the rest of my life. It was so much fun.
and
We
you
were
want me to-
laughing so
you want
hard
me
you
to
walked out.
play
Go ahead,
This
Jenny.
sounds like a violent game. I don't know if I want to learn that.
Well, it's not
It
really
depends-
violent, but
It
I mean,
depends on your DM.
Yeah.
It
My
depends on your storyteller.
yeah, my DM is pretty chill and it's rare. Okay, to be fair, like several people in the party have shot each other. We're
I mean-
doing a futuristic like space spies, so we're not in a dungeon, we're on a spaceship.
Yeah.
But like aside from the fact that we keep shooting each other, no one's been seriously injured, which is pretty good.
Well,
I
can't
mean,
the
murder
storyteller
goes
just
to
kill
murder.
you off anytime they want?
What?
Can't the storyteller just kill you off anytime they want?
I mean, yeah, there could be a critical failure in the engine and the spaceship would explode. Like there is a long joke in D&D. Whenever a DM gets pissed at the party, they just start rolling and they're like, rocks fall, everybody dies, roll.
See,
what happens.
the DM or the storyteller has all of the power to just TPK, which is total player kill, which means you just kill everybody.
Yeah.
But the goal is to not have to do that.
Yeah.
Don't make that my only resort.
Yeah.
'Cause
you know-
usually you start with some sort of agreed upon context, like in Astra's game, they're in space on a spaceship. I hear you, bud.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You have juice
So,
right here.
so there's Dungeons and Dragons on spaceships.
Oh no! So Dungeons and Dragons is one. So role-playing games are like the big umbrella. Dungeons and Dragons is like the most popular game and setting within that big umbrella. And so now, whenever people say like D&D, what they really mean is any type of role-playing games. It's just like Kleenex has become shorthand for tissue. Does that?
Or like Velcro.
Yeah.
Velcro
Okay,
is called is you know, it's all hook and loop, but everyone just calls it Velcro because that's the most memorable brand.
Yeah. So, like, I'm technically playing what's called a homebrew, which
Yeah.
is where one of my best friends since college, he combined his favorite video game growing up with the TV show The Expanse, and like homebrew made a game.
Yeah.
And like, there are other games that are like, and so that one's in space, and there are no dragons or anything. But in Dungeons and Dragons, like
There's no game board though, like Monopoly or Shoots
No.
and Ladders.
So there can be.
Yeah.
It depends on who you play with and how the DM runs their game. Like me as a DM, I don't use maps at
I
all.
like Theater of the Mind too.
I prefer theater of the mind, which means I'm going to describe it to you, and how you see it in your brain is how it is. And yes, that does lead it to be slightly different for each person, but it also, if you have a question, I can answer it because I'm also imagining it with you. There's just nothing laid out.
And I really like Theater of the Mind because it allows the players to engage in a little bit of world building.
Yeah.
So like if you have an idea to do something and like normally if you'd been given a map, like the DM wouldn't have thought of making there a way to do that. But if it's like, okay, you enter a room and there's stuff strewn about, a player character would be like, well, I want to climb up on a file cabinet. And like if there was a map, maybe the DM had thought of putting a file cabinet there. But in Theater of the Mind, the DM can be like, okay, in this corner there's a file cabinet this high, sure, climb up on it.
But
Right.
okay, but still, okay, you're doing this all in your mind, and your perception is different than my perception. So, but ultimately, you as the direct message have the say so. There is better.
Dungeon Master, but direct message works
Yeah.
too.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's why I also call them, like, they go by lots of different names.
Yeah. Oh man. Whole new meaning to slide into my DMs.
Oh no! Slide into my Dungeon Master daddy. Wink.
Slide into my dungeon master, baby.
Was D&D invented through Twitter then? DMs and
No.
direct messages?
Oh no, D&D's been around since like at least since the 80s.
Oh, well, yeah, Twitter didn't exist then.
Yeah, it was like a rule book with, and like little kids would play it, and it's become really, really popular recently in the queer community because it's like really good for experimenting with different characters, and like someone like me could play it just with a completely, like, I want to play being this personality. My current character is literally like me. It's me playing my wife, but it's really a caricature of my wife. So like every action I do, my wife is like sitting next to me as a different character, and she just rolls her eyes because she's like, "This is really what you think of me." And a lot of people will be like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna use she/her pronouns, and this is my new name." And in D&D, everybody calls each other by their character names. So a lot of people use it as a way to try out new names and stuff.
So is there a winner and a loser in the game, or is it just kind of like a story that we're all going on?
No, it depends on how your DM runs it. So there can be situations where it is more like a traditional like board game where there's like a win and lose condition. But most of the way that it's played is more like a long form, kind of imagine like a TV show.
Yeah.
You know, like each episode, like each time you sit down, it's called a session. Each session that you have might be one episode in a long stringing series. So it's more like a season. So like your characters or, your main characters in a movie or TV show, you just get to be them.
Yeah. The campaign that I've been playing, we have a session over Zoom every 2 weeks. Well, it's over Discord, but basically Zoom. It's every 2 weeks, and we have been going since pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like episode by episode, and like one thing happens.
Have there been then true believers that say have had a session series going on for years?
Yeah,
it's possible.
Could be, but you can also you can do like, what do they call it, a one shot or whatever?
Yeah,
where it's like a short dungeon and you do it in like 2 or 3 hours. They have those as well.
One shots are typically a little bit longer than like your regular sessions, at least for most people. They'll make them a little bit longer.
Entire dungeon done, right?
But once it's done, that's it. It's fully encapsulated in itself. Then it can be eventually made into a regular series, like a regular long form game. But one shots can also just be themselves. I mean, they're one and done, and that's it.
A lot of DMs will use one shots to introduce new people to the game, try out new characters, or even like crash test a setting.
Yeah.
Jenny Shankamp said hi.
Hi. What did I do today?
Anyways.
So there's no regular predictable characters for you to play. There's no particular plot to it. There's no rules as to who does
the dungeon
what when.
is a plot. There is a plot to it. You know what it's like, Jenny? You remember those books we had when we were kids, and you could like go in different directions. You could pick a different direction to get to a different ending.
Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. Yeah, you remember those? They came out when I was like 3 or 2 or something. So I know you had to have been like.
I would have been like entering college or something. I don't think I would have been reading those.
Anyways, they're like that. Like you're going along, the DM's telling you a story of what's going on, and he's like, okay, and you're in front of a tavern, and there's a human and a ogre or whatever standing there, and you have to go in there. So what are you gonna do? You want to talk to them? Do you want to go in the building? Like, so it's kind of like that. Like, you can choose what to do in certain situations.
Oh, I'd send you in. Why would I go in?
That's what I'd do. I'd send some big motherfucker in there, right? No.
Hey, Ollie.
Hello. How are you?
Ollie. Ollie, Ollie, income free. How are you, buddy?
You guys are talking about D&D, so you kind of forced me to come in.
Well,
I'm-
come on
I'm
in. I know
working
You
less
summoned
than
me.
most
You
of you.
summoned me.
I know
I
less
love
than
it,
everybody
D&D.
but Jenny. So
I've been
and
playing
she doesn't know
D&D
anything about
since
it. She's learning.
'81.
Is that it?
I
That's the year I started playing.
I started in basic D&D, the red box set, moved
Yeah.
on to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons from there, then played a bit of second edition in the early 2000s, moved to 3.5, which is the
I agree.
best version of the game so far. Then
Really?
fourth edition came out, and that was absolutely the worst edition of the game. Fifth edition is a vast improvement over fourth edition, but it's still not where they were at.
3.5 is still the
3.5.
best.
I
I saw
don't
you
know.
and Jay saying that in
5e
the
is
chat.
really good for newbies. New players.
Fifth edition is really good for people new to the game, but after playing a couple of games for like 6 months or something like that, you should have a look at actually moving to 3.5 because you can do so much more with the game.
That's true.
So
And 5e, it's way easier to break it.
5e,
So-
you said? Maybe.
Yeah, you can stack a character way too well in 5e. I was in a campaign and we accidentally stacked our characters a little too well.
Yeah. I find in fifth edition they don't make you pay for the power that you can acquire. So that's probably in the same line of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like you can make your players way, way more powerful than like.
So it is like
Well, yeah.
it is like you get cash and you buy stuff.
in the game, yeah, you get cash, you get gold,
You get
and you
gold.
buy stuff, yeah.
And you accumulate like
So-
weapons, and you get more powers if you're like say a magician wizard person, or you can like get better weapons and upgrade your strength if you're a fighter or whatever.
Yeah. So
Why-
like a good
Why do
DM
I-
is going to set up a campaign where you're able to go out and do an adventure, whether it's a one night thing or a multi-game thing. When you're playing through the adventure, you're going to hit certain goals along the way, and you may level up in different things like that.
JR.
The DM is going to probably pick out a number of pieces of treasure that are specifically aimed at certain characters, so that this would be a nice one, a magic sword for the fighter, magic wand for the wizard type of thing, right?
Right.
So those type of things. Plus, there's going to be some just random treasure that's in there as well. So that's going to go to whoever, and it's whoever makes the best use of it, and that comes up to player creativity.
Yeah, and as far as like gold goes, the
Yeah.
baseline rule is everybody splits what you find.
Exactly. You split what you find. And then when you get back to town, depending on your DM, some DMs allow you there to be magic item shops, so you can go take your gold and go buy stuff that you want.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can go
Some
upgrade your
DMs
weaponry,
so
or
that's all style. Right?
buy some spells, or buy
Yeah.
some right.
And-
Like in a high magic campaign where everybody's got a magic item and stuff like that, then that's the type of thing that happens. But there's low magic campaigns too, where it's forever till you get a magic weapon and stuff like that, right? So those can be fun
So
too.
could I buy a spell and eliminate the dungeon master?
No.
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 The
He is
dungeon
all
master
powerful. He created the dungeon.
The
Like, you
dungeon
ain't getting rid of
master
that
is
dude.
functionally God.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The dungeon master is the all-powerful being of the setting.
Yeah.
Like-
So it's
You
different
can
than
even say
Catholicism.
This
Yeah,
isn't
you
Into
can
the
say,
Woods.
the dungeon
Can't have a
master is
narrator.
the over god because there's gods that are in the game.
That's true.
And-
in the dungeon
and
You
your
could kill
characters
them
can
if you
worship
really
them.
wanted to.
Yeah, you can, yeah. But the thing is, you can worship those gods and actually get power from worshiping those gods. So it's a much greater effect than actual religions. So
Yeah, the religion in D&D actually does something.
yeah. So, but the thing is, it depending
Otherwise,
on the level of
paladins
your
wouldn't have a
character. This is true. It really depends
Okay.
on the level of your characters.
Wait,
and how
wait.
powerful a spell you can
You
get.
guys quit talking over Ollie. You did that like 3 times in a row. Let him finish what he's gonna say.
So
Well, for-
now I can
for
remember where I
those
was going.
who have played this since before computers existed, and do now, is there any real difference between playing it online with people scattered all over in Zoom, or
It is
or-
infinitely better in person.
I mean,
Yes.
well, any game where you have multiple people is better than person. Any of them.
Yeah.
Even if you were playing like the quiz one, whatever it's called, or you don't know Jack. You know,
Yeah.
all would be better if you're all
The social
same room.
aspect is better in person. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's no
I-
such thing as better on the internet. than
Like-
in person.
My
like,
favorite campaign ever was in person.
Yeah, same. I've been playing online with different groups over the last year and a half, and it is not nearly the same thing.
Yeah.
Mainly because of problems with over talking and stuff like that. When you're playing a live in-person game, two people can have a whispered conversation off to the side while the other 3 people or 4 people are doing something if those 2 people aren't directly involved in it. You can't do
Yeah.
that online.
Yeah,
Right?
shenanigans are way harder. And my favorite D&D my favorite RPG campaigns are all about shenanigans. Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite campaigns ever, one of the player characters was a sentient rock. Obviously, we named this rock Dwayne. And the rock did level up because every once in a while we'd get a weapon that nobody wanted and just stick it in the side of the rock. So if we threw the rock at someone, if the rock threw itself at someone,
Just one question about Dwayne.
the weapon. Yeah.
Did you guys ever discuss his Johnson? No.
Many times in college. This was college, and I was the only woman in this group, and I was probably the least mature.
No, but yeah, there's campaigns are so much fun, and in person so much better.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, agreed. Hey,
I suppose if you're playing
speaking
a
of
game
my
where
brother and aliens, there he is.
Did you just call your brother an alien indirectly?
No, we were talking about aliens alongside
okay.
that I mentioned anyways. I'm not going back. That was a big, long discussion. We're not going to start back at the beginning of that.
We've come so far, B.
We have. We're not going. That was like 56 minutes ago.
Yeah, or longer. Like that was longer. Than
Well,
that.
we've only been streaming for 56 minutes, so
I know.
yeah,
That was here 30 minutes early.
that might have been. Uh-oh. And then I said might have been, and sure enough, I got a might have been.
There you go, Ben.
No, not might. It's definitely been.
I was
What's up,
late
man?
because I was watching an ovarian cyst removal surgery.
Were you? What was it like?
Yeah, there's a giant cyst. This poor girl, giant ovarian cyst. We got rid of it though, and we saved her ovary, so she gets to keep that. But
Oh, good for
she's
her.
like 20 years old, giant ovarian cyst, and she is in so much pain. But she should
Like
be
you want to
okay now.
say like, oh man, but at the same time you want to go cool, really?
Yeah, no, it was a cool procedure. It was cool. I mean, surgery is like, I mean, I guess like it's cool the first few times probably, and then it probably gets really boring after that. Also, like
after the first 100, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like also.
Oh wait a minute, I
just,
didn't
like,
know that was stool. Never mind, we're taking him back out.
Uh,
Okay, I'm kidding.
how big was it, Ben?
I don't actually have a good grasp on how big it was because, like, it was laparoscopic, so it was zoomed in a lot.
Okay.
And then they pulled it out and it kind of like tore apart. But they think it's a serous cystadenoma, which are usually they're benign, but they're pretty common. But
it
it
was
was
that
just
big.
Did they state a? Did they state any? They didn't state a size on it, like a
well,
ish centimeters.
I didn't hear
NBA
it.
population or
Oh, I hope it wasn't more than a centimeter. Jeez, that would be huge.
Oh no, it was bigger than a centimeter. It was big.
No, centimeters are like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Americans are trying to do metric.
a centimeter is less than a half an inch.
And it was bigger than her ovary. Like it was bigger than the size of her actual ovary.
Whoa, that is so painful.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
But yeah, but surgeons are assholes.
Huh?
And I hate them. And it's just like it's the most toxic environment. Like,
And the surgery nurses are assholes.
They're
and he
also
hates them.
everyone that works in the OR is an asshole. Like it just draws the most assholey people because they all have egos the size of Jupiter, and they're like, "Oh, I can do surgery. I'm so cool."
I am
And
gone.
it's like, and it's just funny because like surgeons don't like, they're good with their hands, but they don't do any of the like crazy diagnosing. Like that's done by medicine doctors. So it's like they think they're hot shit, and like sure they can do some cool stuff, but it's like, come on, do you really have to be an asshole about it?
Does that include like Dr. Pimple Popper?
That she's a dermatologist. They're also assholes, but for different reasons.
They're assholes because they make a shit ton of money.
Yeah. But
Dr. Quinn was a medicine woman.
Yeah, the smartest doctors are nephrologists and infectious disease specialists. Those are like the top tier of the geniuses. So because they're like
what was that word?
Specialist.
Nephrology.
What the hell does that mean?
Nephrology is crazy. There's
Kidney
a lot to
doctors.
that.
They're because they do all math. Like their specialty is all math.
Wait, I could be a doctor just doing math?
Yeah, you have to study people's pee though.
No, I just want to do the math part.
Yeah.
Okay, well you gotta study
the pee
people's
is part
pee,
of
though.
it.
Never
Pee
mind,
is
I
a
don't
lot.
want to be a doctor anymore.
You can find a lot out for pee, lady.
No, I agree.
What
I just
happened to
don't
the doctor?
personally want to study pee. I think other people can do that. I just want to sit and do math.
And it's actually really fascinating to study pee, though.
You could become a mathematician.
I was a physicist. I am now. Well, I'm not going to. I realize I'm like I could tell you what my job is, but then it would be very easy to like find me in real life, and I don't want that. I work in a nanomaterials lab, so like I don't do that much math anymore because I mostly do management now. But I did do a lot of math for a while.
I love material science. I think material science is going to save the world at some point.
Yeah, I really want to go back and get my master's in material science. I have a master's in mechanical engineering, and I feel like I should have done material science instead.
Yes, Marie, they make you get a transvaginal ultrasound.
I was going to say
pretty much anybody.
Transvaginal, yeah, is actually what they call it. Funny enough.
But yeah, you get ultrasounds on everybody like all the time for anything OB-GYN.
Yeah. That is very, it's... Well, I mean, ultrasounds are great.
Fucking suck.
Transvaginal ultrasounds
depends on what you're doing with it.
No, I mean, getting one done sucks. I know, I've had like 3 of them. Fucking suck.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't know, but I imagine it would suck.
Yeah, they suck. I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
I've had a lot of transvaginal ultrasounds. They are the worst. They're so uncomfortable.
It is inserted, but it's called transvaginal.
Marie, if I can give
that's the medical term they use.
Just like one point of helping it not suck, take something like, I don't know, Tylenol. Take something that's going to help your muscles relax a little bit before you go. Probably about 30 minutes, an hour.
I mean, it's going to suck no matter what.
Yeah,
do
that. Okay, you guys, Ollie said he's going to leave.
Yeah, I'm taking off for a bit, guys. I will be back on after Big Brother's over.
Bye, Ollie.
All right, bye.
I've never had a Big Brother obsession.
The turfs have been bugging me all fucking day again. But only like this one turf. Well, okay, 2 turfs. And this one keeps going around in circles. And I ended up just muting the conversation because it was just circles and circles and circles.
Sea lioning and
it was about differences in sexual development. Because they were criticizing my video on it. Which my video was on the current standards of care and saying that there used to be doctors that wanted to operate and do cosmetic surgery on these children to make them look more normal. But we don't do that anymore because we learned that you should wait and let the person decide if they want cosmetic surgery done.
You mean nose jobs on 13-year-olds are no longer like cool?
Like, so I'll explain the whole situation because like this is where it got really frustrating. And I specifically said, like, we do surgeries if they are medically necessary. So, like, surgeries on someone's urethra that's in the wrong place is a medically necessary procedure because you're at risk for infections if you don't fix it. So, like, that one you can do on babies, and they do that. But, like, we do other cosmetic surgeries if it's indicated like if they can consent to it and if it's something that they want. But this person was trying to say that I was advocating for labiaplasty in just people with
God.
DSDs in general. And I specifically mentioned that labiaplasty was something that used to be done for those. It used to be recommended. And then she just keeps going in the circle of like, wait, so then what does labiaplasty have to do with DSDs? And I was saying, it used to be recommended. It is no longer recommended. I'm not approving the use of that in children. I'm saying that it used to be done. And she's like, but why would they do that? Like, I told you, like, they used to do it. It's no longer appropriate. And then she kept being confused about what does a labiaplasty have to do with DSDs? It was like, because it's not only used for trans people. Like, a labiaplasty is any surgery that makes labia. So you can use it for, let's say, like, reconstructive surgery. Like, if someone had trauma and you need to repair it, it's a labiaplasty. If you have a trans person, it's a labiaplasty. If it's someone who was assigned differently at birth, like if they have a different sexual development and you need, like, they're masculinized and you need to make, and they want to appear more feminine, you do a labiaplasty. It's the same fucking procedure.
My where I work, we have a patient who has a fused labia. She's had it her whole life and she's done with it. Well, they have to do that because it's like her whole labia is messed up against by where her clit is.
Yeah,
so they're going to have to, that's what they're going to have to do. Yes, it's exactly what they're going to have to do.
These GCs
Straight
keep trying to say
white lady.
These GCs are trying to say that it's like only for trans people and that like I'm not saying the correct, and they think that I don't understand female anatomy. I'm like, I have female anatomy. I'm also on an OB-GYN rotation right now, studying more OB-GYN than like any of them ever will. And also, like, they're just finding excuses to be transphobic about it.
Yeah.
Like, and also, I'm not saying that we still do these surgeries. I keep saying very clearly, and I say in my video, we don't do these on children.
No.
We don't, like, we only do surgeries on children when they are medically indicated.
Yes.
We wait if someone grows up and they decide they choose to have a surgery as an adult, then we do the procedure.
Ben, I have a suggestion for a defense. When they're saying that kind of stupid shit, just look at them or whatever you do online and say, it was your generation that did that, not mine.
Yep.
There you go. Blame it on our
That's true.
generation, Ben.
That's true. It was not my
you
generation.
And your parents that did that shit, not me. Don't look at me about it. You better look in the mirror, asshole. Why didn't you fight against that shit back when it was happening?
Why was it okay? Why was facial feminization okay when it was nose jobs basically forced upon young Jewish girls? Why were boob jobs okay when it was cis women who were told they needed bigger breasts as teenager, or cis girls who were told they needed bigger breasts? Why were like labiaplasties and phalloplasties okay when it was infants born intersex who were infants and therefore could not consent? Why were all of these okay, like, in previous?
Can I add one to that?
Yeah.
Can I add on transplants that they started working on? They didn't start working on them for trans people.
Okay, well,
they started working on them because men had accidents and shit happened and got their shit cut off.
No, I need to clarify one thing. There's this person was saying that we should not do them on people who are intersex. And I also agreed that we should not do them on people who are intersex. And they kept trying to argue with me that I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm like, we agree on this point.
Yeah.
Why are you going back
right now?
Like, I feel like they're just arguing because they want to argue with a trans person.
Yeah, like, this is classic sea lioning.
Because, like, we agree. Like, and I said, like, I agree with your points. Why are you still arguing with me? And they're like, and also, I had said something that, like, parents, and this is true, because parents have concerns. Parents just want to do the right thing for their kid.
Yep.
And so they were doubting the fact that parents would ever request a surgery to make their kid appear normal. I'm like, this happens all the time. Like, parents will obviously, like, in good faith, go to bat for their child, and they will, of course, request for their kid to have normal anatomy and to not get picked on by other people. Like, I don't have to prove that a parent ever asked a doctor, could you please do a surgery on my child so they look normal?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, that happens.
So
Yeah.
speaking to that about how often it happens, I mean, think of something like circumcision for babies.
yep.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, this
It's
person
not
was
at all
trying to say
necessary.
that. Like, they're like, prove it that parents would ever ask this. Like, that, number one, that's a HIPAA violation for me to give you evidence of people asking this stuff. Secondly, like, this is a black swan fallacy, because just because you have not had someone ask you about
Yep.
it, you not being a doctor either, you being part of a DSD support group with people that all agree with you, like, you wouldn't be in a situation where people would be asking you these questions. So, like, this is a black swan fallacy. Just because you haven't had this question asked to you does not mean other people are not asking those questions to their pediatricians, because it happens all the time.
Yep.
Right.
Also, Savage Minnow asked what sea lioning is. I realized I used a term without defining it. I'm sorry, Savage Minnow. So, sea lioning is a trolling technique on the internet used to purposely frustrate and elicit an emotional reaction from someone else while appearing polite yourself. So generally it's repeated questions. So for example, let's pick a completely harmless example. Like say there was a study that said, I don't know, dolphins are assholes and they're assholes because they're always stealing candy from baby dolphins. And there are all these studies about these asshole candy stealing dolphins. And say, like, I'm advocating that we stop the candy stealing. Sorry, I'm trying to pick out like a non-offensive example. And I'm just.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Brain. And say someone comments on that and is like, well, what evidence do you have that these dolphins are stealing candy? And then, okay, I post links to like 3 or 4 articles and it's like, actually, here are a bunch of articles talking about it. And then they said, well, I don't really want to read articles. I need scientific studies that prove this. And then say, I was like, okay, here's 5 or 6 scientific studies that prove this. And they're like, oh, well, that was a lot of information. Can't you just tell me your point in a few words? And then I would say, stop dolphins stealing candy from baby dolphins. And they were like, yeah, I'm not really seeing any facts and figures that really see this as a problem. And I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, well, I just provided the links. Like, why aren't you doing any reading? It's like, and then the person comments, well, I just asked a question. So it's basically after your question is answered, you keep asking the question, you keep moving the goalpost for your burden of proof. And the whole point isn't to gain information. It is entirely to get the original person to yell at you so that you can be like, whoa, well, you seem really emotional about this. So clearly you just have your own issues and there is no actual real issue of dolphins stealing candy.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously I made that up. So like in this case,
that's absolutely what they're doing though. And so I just muted them and walked away.
Yeah, like that's it's just sea lioning. It's so I actually looked up where the root comes from. There was a comic strip written that like had 2 characters, and one of them was a sea lion who did this as like a way to illustrate this this type of internet troll. And the comic took off, so now we call it sea lioning because the characters were sea lions in this comic strip.
Yes, Jenny.
So can we stop these dolphins from stealing the candy?
Yes, you need to donate to the Trevor Project. This is one of their side gigs.
Also, turf is a slur.
Oh, definitely.
I love how you used dolphins and candy when you could have used orcas and sea urchins, because orcas are actually the assholes of the ocean and will find small sea creatures and play with them until they're dead and then continue to play with them.
Aw.
They're the worst.
Damn.
Orcas are
So
the
do we want to
fucking
have?
worst.
Do I want a happier topic because I had something else happen to me today that was really funny?
Ooh,
Yes, happy
do tell.
topic.
Yes, I agree with the little girl. Go.
The baby clap.
Okay, so I got this ad on Facebook, and it's for this cult, and it's really, really funny. And I can't help but laugh about it because it's really, really funny. Let me...
You want to share it? I'll put it up there, Ben.
What is the cult?
I'll pull up the picture of the cult, and then I'll go to their website, because this is a fun time. And I need to do a video about this, because it's really fucking funny. Like,
Oh
it
my
almost
God.
seems like a troll thing, because it's just so fucking funny. Yeah, that's true. Anything that defines them is a slur.
Yes, purple rhymes with orange.
Look, Asher was snapping. That's a big thing right there. Okay, here it goes.
What?
Extraterrestrials created all life on Earth.
The USA Uralian movement? This is just Heaven's Gate Part 2.
Yeah, let me show you their website. This is a trip. Like, this is an actual, like, acid trip.
Wait, they have a website? This is amazing.
Yeah, they have like an actual organization. It's horrifying, but in like a really funny way. Okay, here I'm gonna just...
Ben.
The
Like,
minute
this is
I read
laughing.
extraterrestrials created everything, the first person I thought of
Okay.
was Richard.
I need to go to the... Okay.
Rael is the Rael is the last messenger sent by our extraterrestrial creators, the Elohim, and was asked to make their final message to humanity known to everyone.
What?
There's some weird stuff in here about masturbation and clitorade and stuff.
Wait, clitorade?
This
Wait.
basically-
Tell me more about the clitorade.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna go back here. So he has a thing on sensual meditation. And there's also a yes to human cloning. That's like part of our destiny is to like clone
Tell me all
humans.
about it. Maybe I can get a woman. Go
But
ahead.
also, okay, so over the years, Rail has inspired several public actions from the promotion of the use of condoms in schools to the promotion of masturbation, from worldwide campaigns in support of minorities with the slogan, "To tolerate differences is not enough, one should love differences," to the disturbing request to have all religious books censored where they don't respect human rights, from the support of human cloning through the founding of CloneAid, to the promotion of GMO as the only chance for human beings on Earth to have food, which, like, he's not even wrong about that.
Yeah, a lot
from
of
the
this
creation
is kind of correct.
of Clitorade, an association to help women who have been circumcised to have their clitoris repaired so they can experience all
Well,
pleasure.
now that's actually something good.
Wait, this is actually kind of great. This sounds
It's great.
like Pastafarianism stuff.
It's great stuff, but the name Clitorade, for one, is hilarious. And secondly, all of this is inspired by the Elohim and extraterrestrials because God is an alien.
Oh.
And
They
Yeah.
should call it clitoraltality.
Oh
Sorry,
no!
never mind.
Boo!
It just hit me. That's why I started laughing. I was like, "Oh fuck!" Should I
also,
say
they
it?
have
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna say it.
swastika in their symbol.
What?
Symbol.
How?
Yeah. They have a whole thing about like, oh, the FAQ. They have like, but what about the swastikas? Oh, and also what? Okay, so here we should go through the. Oh, they also have a book called Intelligent Design for Atheists or something
I'm
like
jealous, Savage.
Um,
I'm jealous. Fuck you, Ben.
that. So
Did
the
you read
Elohim
that?
explained to us that they were created by a more advanced race of humans that were created by a more advanced race of humans, and so on. And we simply are another link in the eternal cycle of life, and one day our scientists will travel to another planet and create life the same way the Elohim did with our planet. Why do they need an embassy? I don't freaking know.
This really takes Occam's razor and just like
Hey, Ben, I want you to know,
Tosses
Stool said, I think I bought a liter of Clitorade last week.
Yes.
No, that was Gatorade.
Also,
dude,
why
not
don't they just
Glitterade.
show themselves to everyone so we have proof to support Rail's claims?
I would
Because
make another
unannounced
Gatorade
and
joke
undesired
that my wife
landing would be
isn't around.
pandemonium, and the world's governments would view them as invaders, resulting in threatening retaliation by the military.
Wait, if these
Only-
are more advanced humans who literally created us, why would like our military be any level of threat? One, two.
No.
If your FAQ section, if one of the questions you're frequently asked is about your swastikas, maybe rethink everything.
How can
Hey,
aliens
ma'am, what's
believe
the
in
story
what
behind your
one man is
swastika?
saying? Yeah, there's a whole thing about. Yeah. Oh, does Rail receive a salary? Or do I donate?
No, he just
Where's
gets his dick
Where's
sucked every
Eve, the
night by
clone
20
baby?
virgins.
What is this?
What?
Nothing.
That's
I
not a
made something
question I had, but now I need the answer.
Where's Eve, the cloned baby? What's with the swastika? How can I join? Who are the honorary guides? What does it mean? Just wonderful topics
Okay,
in here.
I really want to find these people on the internet and antagonize them. Like, I really want to.
Okay, we
That's funny.
need
shit.
to have a stream where we just like look at cult websites and mock them because they're amazing, and my wife and I have gotten really, really into cult documentaries and like the psychology of cults lately because they're so fascinating, and I need to know everything about every cult because they're hilarious.
My brother said any set of beings who are intelligent and never lived here and performed intelligently directed panspermia are definitionally aliens. So, not totally against the Bible. Oh.
Space and time are not. How do they put this in? Say, go. What? Now I can't find it.
Yeah, it represents infinity in time and space. So the swastika is infinity in time, and the Star of David is infinity in space.
They could have
Well,
picked a better
Astra's leaving me.
symbol. I have to head out. My wife brought Chipotle home, and it's getting.
Oh, I would go for Chipotle too. Go
Yeah.
on, get out of here. Don't blame you.
Have
Love you
fun.
all. Bye.
Love you too, sunshine. Ugh.
Y'all done made me get the vodka. What is
Just
wrong with you
calm
people?
down, dude.
I wish
I
I could have the
refuse.
vodka too, but I'm working a lot this week.
Here you go.
Mm.
I'll just give it to you through the internet. Here you
I'm
go.
gonna stop sharing that.
So there was a few things that popped up, Ben. Hold on. One of them was
I saw the one about my voice.
oh, okay. And Ox said, as smart as you are, Ben, and you click on this crap from Facebook.
Yeah, well, here's the thing though. It was an ad, so if I click on it, they have to pay for it.
Oh, good point.
And they're not going to convince me.
That's a great point. I like it. Lay down.
I refuse
can I
to lay
curry-
down, Father.
I'm going to
It's not
curry
bedtime.
stool.
What's
said,
that, Ben? I didn't hear you.
Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, Stool wants me to curry him.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Jenny.
That sounds really kinky. Especially with stool.
I mean, it's stool.
I set a personal record today.
Oh, what was that?
I waited 9 whole days before I started taking my car apart.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yep, it's the longest I've ever gone
Wow.
in a car before I started disassembling it.
Car dies, usually I start tearing it apart right away.
No. It doesn't have to be broken. I just tear them apart, do things.
Oh, well. Okay, touche. Okay, go. Go. I can't handle it anymore.
Stool, I'm mad that I read what your last comment was
Just
and
cut my
I
hand.
understood all of it.
Let go. Let go, dude.
Oh, too much vodka. More Gatorade.
Close.
Okay, I'm
duel.
seriously like stuck sitting here. Clawing on my hand, dude. Look. It's like playing with a tiger. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
Oh, I think Purple wants a link.
Oh, I sent it to you, Perps. That's okay. Hold on, I'll give it to you right here in chat.
Perp, come on in.
Join us, Perp.
Put it in
We
the
tried,
Twitter.
we tried to capture
Then we're gonna have
The Twitter
we
group.
tried to capture a cougar on Purple's show today.
too much estrogen on this stream.
Savage
Yeah.
said, Jenny, you're like my wife.
I'm
She just
trying-
wants to see how shit works and see if she can make it work better.
Well, no, I know how shit works. I want to fuck with it. And
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know how anything works.
You have to, I guess you'll have to tell everybody, Jenny, about your extensive experience with BMWs.
no, I
Because-
really don't. I really don't.
Anyways, she knows a lot about BMWs. Let's just say she worked on them for years. So she can literally take them all the way apart and put them all the way back together. And then write
I
a book
don't. I
about it.
don't know that much. I've only written one book on them. So
Oh, only one?
Only
Oh, well, I gotta
one.
kick Jenny off the stream then. One is not enough. It's like a 2-book minimum here. So I guess I gotta kick everybody off the stream.
Yeah, I've wrote 0 books that I want anyone to know about.
Well, I mean, I've never written shit. I've
Okay,
started
wait a
some
minute.
books.
I wrote the book, but nobody knows it. So,
Does
Okay,
it count if you
Jenny,
started 2 books. Hi, Purple.
Jenny, you got to level with them. Only one book, but enough magazine articles that you could do a compilation for a couple more books, right?
no. Actually, I did a calculation. I was paid for 1,000 words a month for 16 years. So you do the math, and I don't think that totals a novel.
It depends on how floppy the novel is. If it flops bad, then you might lose money on it. On
It
the
would be a
actual
terrible novel.
printing
like
of it.
all those stories.
No, Ox, going through booking at a jail a few times does not count. I'm sorry. Try again, buddy.
Well, it counts for something.
Who's
Just
the
not
perp?
this.
Oh, we call purple rhymes with orange perp. There's no
I need to
perpetrators
write a
here,
book about
except
the
for
aliens.
Ox in the chat. That's who you want to talk about a perpetrator. You talk to Ox.
You know, the chat is always turning over new people. Some people leave, some people come. Are there lots of people in chat who don't know why purple rhymes with orange?
Because nothing rhymes with
Put
orange.
a 1 in the chat if you don't know what is meant by that. Let's do it that way.
Well, I think
Savage said that's technically novel length in 30 months, less than 3 years.
what?
What you wrote every month is by the time you get to 30 months, that's the length of a novel.
Really? That's all?
Yeah, that's what she said. So you wrote. Okay, everybody's putting 1s in the
It's
chat.
like-
No, that's an exclamation mark, Ox, not a 1. Randy put a 2. Randy, there was no 2 option. It was either 1 or just shut up.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna get more giggles
guys
than
are
my drink.
This many.
The people that follow
This
me.
many. This
Okay,
many.
thank you for the 3, Ben. Fuck off.
This many.
That many now. That many now.
I'm this
You
many
got-
years old.
You're
This
that many years old? Really?
Many.
That's
You're only
good,
6.
buddy.
I'm so proud of
It's
you.
pretty impressive. You're a 3rd-year med student with that lack of backing.
You're 6 and
Pretty
you're a
amazing.
3rd year in
This
med
many.
school. Good
This
job.
many.
If you
That's
were
nice.
like 10 and in med school, you'd probably be the richest dude here soon. As soon
Probably.
as you passed. As soon as you passed.
Probably, yeah.
They pay you just to like promote a pen. Like anything. Please promote something of mine.
Tomorrow's not.
And then the turfs would leave me alone. No, they wouldn't. They'd
Oh
still
no,
love
they
me.
wouldn't. They'd
Tomorrow's
say you
my
don't
birthday.
do anything and that the whole thing's a conspiracy and you never went through college. That's what they would say.
Yeah, no, I'm one of the most hated. I'm becoming one of the most hated people by them. Very
well, I'm
quickly,
sorry you're
and
not
it's
there
fantastic.
yet, buddy. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
I'm proud of you, Ben, because all the turfs are mad at you.
It's great. I'm like, I gotta remind myself, like, it's a good thing that they hate me, because they're all bigots. So.
Absolutely.
No, you're right, Savage Minnow. She did say 1,000 words a month. For 30 months, it's 30,000 words. So I guess that's typical novel length. There you go.
Sometimes it is best to be known by one's enemies. Bliss Swing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because apparently being pro-trans is to want to take away rights from every woman on Earth.
Yeah. You didn't
That's
know
why I
that?
went into
No.
it. Absolutely.
Because I want some women to also have rights.
And fuck you.
Because if you give
That's
other
fucked
women
up.
rights, then that means you're taking away rights from women.
I decided to become trans so that I could make sure that all women spend the rest of their lives as barefoot and pregnant drones for the male community.
No, they've got this all backwards.
Yes,
I
purple.
just felt my
I decided to become a
mixed
woman because they had so many more rights than men did.
Oh no, I'm waiting for the white privilege to kick in anytime now. White male privilege.
Right.
I think you got to keep bleaching your skin.
Mac and Dave Worley told me that I get my first paycheck or first payment in 16 weeks. So I'm waiting for that. Yep.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Yay! Happy
birthday!
Happy birthday!
What are we doing for your birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Do we need to have a birthday stream?
Happy birthday, dear Jenny.
I have no plan.
Happy birthday
to
you.
Do we need to?
And
do we
many
need to
more.
like Uber Eats you a cake?
Yeah, somebody Uber Eats Jenny a cake.
I've reached the don't remind me period in your life.
Okay, you're 25. Crap.
You know what I always say is why bother celebrating your birthday? It just reminds you how old you are, and it ages you every time. I just say fuck
Okay,
it.
It will be
25.
my
It's
will
okay.
be my 37th annual 30th birthday party.
Oh, okay, awesome. I like it.
Hey, another birthday means that you have successfully evaded all the planet's attempts to kill you for another year.
That's right. I scoff at them when they line up. There's a plan. You know?
I mean, these days, the list is endless of things in our society that are going to kill you.
Mm-hmm. And I keep trying to convince my psychologist that it's me that's going to do it. You know.
What do you do when you spill half your drink in your keyboard?
You spray as much as you can out with one of those blaster thingies, and then you put the keyboard upside down and pray.
Well, I don't have any of those air canisters that you're talking about.
Actually, I have successfully taken a keyboard in the shower to clean it off and just left it upside down in front of a fan to dry for a couple of days, and when I plugged it in again, it worked.
You could also try to spray alcohol on it.
Are you talking a laptop
and
or
then
a
tip
keyboard?
it upside down, and the alcohol will help the water dry faster.
No, I'm talking about my desktop keyboard.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's fine. If you've got a keyboard, you can actually unplug from the computer.
Yeah.
You can probably just spray it out with water as long as you make sure it's got a lot of time to dry before you plug it in again.
Everybody's saying turn it off or unplug it, turn it upside down, and on top of an absorbent surface. Marie said uncooked rice. Savage said any absorbent surface like a towel or something.
Well, okay, but what did you spray in it or spill in it?
A mixture of Gatorade and vodka.
Okay, now see that's the problem. You can't just dry it out because you're going to have sugar in there that's going to make the keys stick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So before it has a chance to dry out, you need to flush it with water.
And operate the keys a lot underwater.
And there you go. You could still spray it down with like rubbing alcohol though, or whatever alcohol.
Yeah, like I say, I just took mine in the shower and I just sprayed it off with the shower nozzle.
There you go.
Just like I said, I left it in front of a fan for like 3 days to make sure it was dry before I risked plugging it in again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
I'm just gonna turn it upside down for the moment. Thankfully, it has drain holes in the bottom.
Well, that's a good idea no matter what.
Yeah, well, it's got drain holes in the bottom anyway, so the water, the drink mostly came through the drain holes and all over my fucking desk mat. But you know,
I have this that rule at my house: no liquids near the computer desk. Period.
Me too.
it's okay.
Although, in my defense, my laptop is on a tilt on one of those risers. So if I splash anything on it, it's usually on the bottom where the mouse pad is, and it's just there's nothing there. Solid. So I did spill some tea one time and underneath of my space bar. So sometimes my space bar sticks.
I like it when people drop their phone in water or something, and they yank it out and turn it off real fast and say this should be okay. I turned it off right away. Like
what? No.
Electricity was waiting for you to turn it on or off.
Actually, if you ever drop a phone in water, throw it in a bag of uncooked rice. Marie is right. It will suck it out faster than most things.
For phones,
sure.
instead of rice, if you keep those tiny little silica gel packets that usually come in like shoes and shit, you keep a bunch of those, put your phone in that instead. If you've got those laying around.
I bought a couple of like really large version of those that weigh like a pound each, because you can bake them in the oven to dry them out. So I use them whenever one of my toolboxes gets wet.
Okay.
You know, if I'm working out in the rain, I put it in my toolbox to keep the tools from getting rusty, and then I can bake it and reuse it.
I know somebody who keeps those little things from like electronics that you get in the mail or whatever in a package. They keep them, and then if something happens to one of their electronics, they put it in a bag with one of those so it sucks all the moisture out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. I got ADD on you. I'm sorry, I got distracted, but
it's okay. Those are better than rice because rice, the individual pieces of rice, can get in stuff like the charging port or the headphone port.
The rice will have some dust.
That's why they said lay it upside down. Don't put it in it when it comes to like keyboards and shit.
Yeah, the rice will have some dust in it, and when the dust gets wet, then you've got the sticky starch.
I always put them in the front pocket of my shirt so they can suck out the sadness of my heart.
Oh, Jenny! Oh my God!
But Jenny, here's my question:
Who's going to be the first wrist slitter? That was depressing as fuck.
Now, Jenny, you just need to tell your psychiatrist that everyone is going to die eventually. You're just a do-it-yourselfer.
Oh no!
Wow,
that's terrible, but funny.
Wow, man.
Hey! Let's not talk about this. It could be triggering to some folks. And
sorry.
For me, it's
okay.
I talk about it, but
yeah, we can be silly, but yeah.
I joke about it because I've tried it twice myself.
And let me ask you another question, completely unrelated to any of this. Have anybody ever had the brand of licorice called Red Vines?
Oh yeah.
Who hasn't heard of Red Vines? Would be an easier question to ask.
Why does it do this?
Because they're inferior to Twizzlers.
Look at that. It falls apart in
Okay, here's my question for the chat. Who's Team Twizzlers or Team Red Vines? Because the only answer is Twizzlers.
Team I hate licorice.
Neither. There's a company in Minnesota that
makes licorice.
That makes Twizzlers look like garbage.
The red stuff is not licorice at all.
Sometimes I will eat Twizzlers if they create different flavors. Like they had that orange cream one. I killed a couple bags of that in like fucking 2 weeks. That shit was good. But it wasn't licorice, it was orange cream.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the red licorice is on my list of things that I miss because I don't have the teeth anymore.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Something I used to really enjoy, though.
You can't even have the little bites ones, the ones that are already like little. Like
I do have bite-sized ones, yeah.
I don't know if those would be better or worse for your.
I mean, they're still really.
Don't feel bad, Purple. I have fake teeth on either side, like right inside my eye teeth.
Yeah, well.
And I can't chew on like apples or anything hard. I have to like cut it up and put it in the back of my mouth.
Yeah, I don't even have the fake teeth. Because without getting surgery on my lower jaw, there isn't enough bone left to even hold the dentures in place.
Oh God.
And that
sucks.
would be like $18,000 for the surgery, which is money I will never have.
Yeah, I know somebody who had jaw surgery, and that wasn't very much fun, I don't think.
Yeah, well, basically they said they can make it work if they could implant a couple of titanium posts for the dentures to snap onto. But that's something the insurance will never cover because they consider it cosmetic work.
Wily Wallaby all the
is.
way, better than Red Vine or Twizzlers.
I have no idea what Wily Wallaby is.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, don't know that
assuming
brand.
It's a company out of Australia.
That would be my first guess.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like it.
If not, then I don't know why the hell they picked that name. It's so Australian.
Well, Australia isn't real, so that brand is automatically not real.
Well, yeah, it's an
The
imaginary
Australian
country,
stuff
we
is
know.
so much better because they use the essence of koalas in it.
But koalas are also not real because Australia is not real.
Koalas are also assholes.
They're also really stupid.
They're really stupid assholes, just like all those Turks.
Because their brains are flat.
Okay, for koalas, being stupid was a survival strategy in evolution.
Stupid.
They had to eat something that is of such low nutritional value that there was no competition for it, but as a result, there was no nutrition to develop a brain anymore.
So they're
Well,
all
now I got to look up Wily Wallaby fucking licorice. Thank you so
purple.
much.
Purple. Does that mean they're all Republicans?
Well, maybe.
Republicans are koalas? Yep.
No, all koalas are Republican. Or all Republicans koala. I'm confused. What is it?
Republicans are koalas.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought you guys said. Yeah.
I don't know if Pew has ever conducted a poll of koalas for their religious affiliation, for their political affiliation.
Well, I just think that should be a thing.
Well, someone needs to get on that.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know where you're going to get funding, though, to do that.
I just found out that my keycaps are removable, so this cleaning my keyboard is going to be infinitely easier.
I know how to get funding for this. You go to the Republican National Committee. You tell them you want to do a poll to find out how many Republicans there are in this area. They'll give you the funding for it. You don't tell them the area is Australia and you're polling koalas.
Koalas. Is that like a QAnon koala? Koalas? That's pretty good, Randy. That's pretty good.
And I am back to my reason here for why, if I were to spill or spray any liquid in my keyboard, cleaning the keyboard would be the least of my worries. Because as I've shown people before, usually when I'm on the computer, I am balancing my keyboard on my kitty's back. So if I were to if I were to spill any liquid here, I would be more worried about the blood gushing out of my legs.
From the cat going,
yes.
No shit, right?
Also,
Same.
Stupid.
Same.
Yeah, England is obviously not real because, like, have you seen the shit that's going on with so-called England? Like, all those TERFs can't be real. They're too stupid.
Good night, Savage. Have a great night, sweetheart.
Night, Savage.
Must make sleepy time now.
Okay, why did Stool run away before, too? He was in here just before I
don't know.
came in.
I think he said his phone kicked him.
I know it's been difficult for him to be online in much of any capacity.
Well, yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, Stool needs a new phone, and he was even just willing at looking at, or was even looking at just buying a used one to save money, but he still didn't have the money for that. I think that the one that he had showed me was, I think he said 80 pounds, which would be like $120 US.
Yeah.
I did put quotes around England because England's not real.
England. Yeah, piss off Stool. He's like, where the fuck do you think I live?
Okay, how did they come to
Australia,
be
which
called
is also
scare
not real.
quotes now?
I don't know. I thought they were just quotes.
They were air
Quote-
quotes because
quote,
you're doing it in
unquote.
the air. What's scary about them?
I don't know.
Because they're English.
I don't know.
Okay.
And England's not real. It's like zombies.
A lot of the people who use air quotes are kind of creepy.
They only tell us England is real to scare us into submission. Like they're trying to scare away all the trans people by telling us that there's this island in the middle of the ocean where trans people aren't allowed because people hate us there.
Well, hey, but wouldn't it be a great idea if we could put all the transphobes on one island together?
Yeah. So we'll just take all the trans people from England and bring them not here because here sucks. Well, we can bring them here, but we got to put all of our awful people on.
Yeah,
England.
we'll just trade them. We'll take in all the LGBT people in England, and we'll send them all of our bigots.
Yeah, and then they'll try to conquer the world again. Like this will just become colonization all over again.
Stool thinks he's got some kind of substantial backing because he said we have submarines.
You still have England.
What would be a good thing though is if we put all the turfs on one island, they would live, they would breed, and eventually over time they would create a whole new population of trans people for them to pick on.
Wait a minute. Maybe this was the plan all along. Maybe this is what Brexit is all about. They just started the phase of starving them out before they got them all to the island.
I don't think if we put all the bigots in one island, like it's just gonna be colonization all over again, and they're gonna try to like take over the world because they're right.
But England only got away with that because they were fighting Germany, France, and Spain individually. Now with the EU, if they have to fight them all together, they don't stand a chance to get off the island.
That's true.
Well, but as they become more of a totalitarian nation, America will support them even more. So they have that.
Well, I said we send all our bigots there, so we'd be out of Republicans.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm dealing with the anxiety that is pulling off my keycaps and not knowing exactly if they'll go back on. So I'm pulling some off and then testing it. I'm pulling some off and then testing it.
Okay,
England isn't an island, but part of the British Isles are islands, plural. And so one of the islands that has England on it is an island.
Yep. As far as pulling your keycaps off, that's generally safe. I actually had a job assembling such things. They generally pop on and pop off. Although, if you're going to take off any number of them at the same time, make sure you take pictures of your keyboard first. Otherwise, you may have problems realizing where all the punctuation symbols started out.
That's a fair point.
Cordial.
Can we?
That's just
give
good
all the
solid
bigots.
advice. I'm sorry,
Can
Ben,
we
go
just
ahead.
give all the bigots to Sealand?
Let's just put them on Jeff Bezos' plane and send them to space.
Just give them to Sealand.
Give them the entire continent of Atlantis.
Just give them Sealand. Because no one acknowledges that that's a real thing anyway.
I've never heard of it, so it mustn't be real.
Oh, they like declared themselves their own little country, but they're just like a boat off the coast of England or something.
Yeah, you can pay like a few $100s and become I think it's like $300 or something like that, and become a part of the community and officially be a resident of Sealand. And they give you they come up with some kind of title or something. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's ridiculous and it's a scam and people fall for it. That's all I know.
Yeah, so we'll give the bigots to them.
It's not a scam. It's
Deal.
a legit way of making money. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, I own the moon and I'm going to sell it off acre by acre." Well, if you want to buy it, then buy it. You know it's not real, or you should know it's not real. What's wrong with selling a certificate that makes a big lie? We have an ex-president who makes a big lie, makes a bunch of money.
How about if we just tell them we're giving them all a cruise to the Caribbean to make sure they dress appropriately, and then we send the ships to Antarctica instead?
Populating Antarctica with turfs and bigots.
Well, turfs and swimsuits. Send them to Antarctica, let the penguins sort it out.
We can't kill them. We're human. Well, I'm a humanist. I don't know about the rest of you.
We wouldn't be killing them. I'm leaving that to the laser-armed penguins.
Okay, but if we're the ones that got them there.
Wait a minute. I thought it was the Jews in space that had the lasers, the Jewish space lasers. That's what Marjorie said. Or was that Bobbert? One of them.
We've been giving lasers to the penguins. You know they've got to keep up with the current tech. You couldn't expect them to be fighting the flat earthers with just impact weapons for all these years. That's where I got my tuxedo kitty. His daddy was a penguin.
I think we all have no comment on that, Purple. That's what I'm going to guess.
Well, that's what he claims, or you can argue with him about it.
No,
Commander
I'm not arguing.
401, I agree with you.
I have no proof to the contrary, so.
The bigots are all so insecure that they got to pick on other people, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, these are people who the only way they can feel good about themselves is to make somebody else look smaller.
Yep.
It's pretty common, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep. So I will take pride in the fact that the turfs hate me because you know what? My future patients who are trans and non-binary and all different types of LGBTQ identities will need someone to fight for them, and I will be that person. So I will not back down from these stupid people who just want to take rights from other people.
Commander 401 said, Ox, thanks for throwing links in there. All bigots hate themselves. That's why they find someone else to hate.
Yep.
And Nerdy Rodent, hello, both of you. Nerdy said, I always look small. It's just a little mouse.
A little mouse.
Just a little mouse.
I'm not a fighter, but I have a file cabinet full of weapon designs.
Of what?
Weapons designs. I'm not a fighter, but I'll equip anyone else who wants to do it.
Right. Damn, perps. Getting dangerous over there. I'm heating up my dinner, so if I'm being rude and jumping in and out, you just have to forgive me.
Hey, I'm set for the zombie apocalypse. I know how to make weapons out of stuff I got lying around at any given moment.
Hell yeah.
You know, I don't need to have guns.
Welcome back, Kyle.
Hey, good to be here.
The only thing you missed is me pouring half of my drink in my keyboard and now trying to figure out what the repercussions of that looks like.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm using a phone, so I don't have that problem.
I would be more upset if I had just dropped my phone in my drink.
Yeah, I'm a little bit addicted to my phone.
My phone costs more than my entire computer. It's a bad thing.
Stool, I would join your kingdom.
Yeah, well,
Also, I'm doing
we
ASMR.
just need the island. Got plans for Stool's Kingdom too.
If I put on the snappy gloves, can I come back to your kingdom, Stool?
Love the
Snappy Glove Kingdom. Nice.
I just want to be in Stool's kingdom. That's the only one I want to join.
Okay, well, these days it is too hard to find an island that no one has claimed. So I have a plan to build my own.
Space.
Well, I have a plan to build my own island, and anyone is welcome to claim. You just need to donate 250,000 Lego brick to the project.
That's not nearly enough.
Well, no, see, we're going to make it hollow, and we'll fill it with all the empty water bottles so it floats.
You're gonna have to glue the Legos together.
Heathen. Now, you don't glue them together. That way you can change the island around anytime you want. That's what's going to make it such a great place to live.
Well, you can disconnect them even if they're glued. People dig in rocks and change the shape of the rocks and dirt, and they already do all this stuff. They're just Legos.
There's already a guy who lives on an island that's held up by water bottles. It's actually really fucking cool. He's got a garden and trees and a house on it and shit. And so what he did, he just started collecting bottles and he capped them off and he strung them all together. Milk jugs.
Well,
And
in
he's got
Minneapolis,
they keep trying to make him move. And he's like, I don't have to move. This is a public waterway.
in Minneapolis, there's a yearly event called the Aquatennial, and one of the things in the Aquatennial is the milk carton boat race that anybody can enter. It's just your boat has to be built primarily out of empty milk containers.
I like
I would
it.
do that. Sounds awesome.
How about if you don't have milk containers, but you have those gallon jugs that had orange drink in them?
Stool's coming though.
I think they'd be okay with that. You know, I want to know, you know, if I took the top of a tanker truck off of its chassis, if it was empty, it would float. That's technically an empty milk container.
I mean, yeah.
So, you know, just start with a stainless steel tank.
I feel like that would be kind of hard to row.
A little bit.
Oh yeah, that is one of the other requirements. It has to be human powered. It can't have any type of engine.
Well, that depends on the draft. You know, if it doesn't go down too deep, you could row it. Otherwise, you'd have to have really, really long oars.
Actually, if you're worrying about the draft, you probably start with an empty beer truck.
Define human powered, because could you power it using something like a kinetic engine that runs off of human energy, like attach it to, I don't know, an exercise bike?
Yeah, they've had some that were powered by bicycle pedals.
Great. So really, as long as you could get a kinetic engine that could push whatever you're trying to make, you could feasibly make it as big as you wanted to.
Have you ever pedaled one of those pedal powered boats like they have in lagoons and parks and stuff like that?
Yeah, those are awesome too.
Okay,
We
they
have
say
them
it
here
has
in
to be
Minneapolis.
human powered.
You'll be able to do it before you drop dead.
Wait.
So-
How about this concept? It has to be human powered. So you start with a couple of really massive springs and a clockwork mechanism that you spend 3 months winding this thing up, and you just let it go so it all unwinds in about 2 minutes.
Oof.
It's still human
maybe.
powered. They didn't have
No,
to say it
no.
had to be energy expended that day.
No, it's not. That is not human powered. The energy is coming from a mechanical spring. Just because the human loaded the energy in, it doesn't mean that it's human powered.
But the spring
human-
has no
a human
energy if
puts
there isn't a
gasoline in
human
it.
to wind it up.
A human puts gasoline in their car. Does that mean that's human powered too?
Well, no, because you're burning a fuel there. That's different.
Yeah, the combustion of the engine is what is creating the movement, not the action of putting the fuel in.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we used to go over this family's house. They also had 6 children, and we would go over there and spend the weekend. And like all the kids would just crash on the living room floor, and we'd watch TV late at night until the little shh came on and the anthem played and all that shit. And then we'd stay up talking and then crash. So there'd be like 12 kids in the living room. Well, there was a stipulation to the TV. It was only powered one way. The guy set a bicycle up and attached something to one of the and ran the TV off of it. So one of us had to be pedaling at all times, or we couldn't watch TV. And so we would switch off. I mean, there was 12 of us. If everybody pedals for 5 minutes, you have an hour. So we would just switch off. We also had to churn our own butter. So there you go. But we do like a big
butter in a blender.
Yeah, but they had an old butter churner, and they would make enough for both families when they did this.
Well, then they're idiots. They should make it in a blender. It takes like 30 seconds.
Who the fuck do you think had a blender when I was a kid? We were poor.
Okay, speaking of a blender.
We didn't get a blender until I was like 13 or something.
Nerdy's got to take
a jar and go like this.
Nerdy's got to take on the human power thing of what about if you purified them and put them in the gas tank?
Well, that would be okay. That's human powered then, yes.
Fucking nerdy. Leave it to you, dude. Leave it to you.
My keyboard is crusty, and I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't know I could take these keycaps off and clean it before now.
I'm glad we got you something for you to do.
What kind of drink did you spill into it?
Gatorade mixed with vodka.
Clitorade with vodka.
Yeah,
that's a whole.
That's good for circuits.
Well, see, I've known this before, and I haven't wanted to acknowledge it, but now that you got me thinking about it, I really have to open up this keyboard and do that, mostly to get all the cat hair out of it.
Oh, I'm way too ADD and lazy. I'll just throw it out and buy another one. They're like $20. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. I'll find $20 and buy another one.
Nerdy, I don't know. I don't want to know why your keyboard is crusty.
No, and neither do I. No one here wants to know, Nerdy.
I'm blaming it on Dave.
I want to know, Nerdy. Tell me why.
I'm blaming it on Dave.
Crusty.
Well,
and did you enjoy yourself?
And please, Nerdy, put it in her Twitter DM. We don't want to know.
To be honest, for me, it's less about how much it would cost to replace it and more about how much I hate throwing this much plastic in the trash.
Agreed.
So if I can refurbish it and still make it functional again, I don't like to throw it away, even if it does seem to waste a lot of time.
I do that with most things. Not electronics.
Yep.
I don't know enough about it. I'll just fucking throw it out and buy another. Well, I mean, unless it's like an expensive computer, then I'll find somebody to pay somebody a few bucks to fix it.
The way that this keyboard was made, that there's a thing between the actual keys and the deck, essentially. So all of the liquid is just on this plastic bit, not actually in the circuits, which is nice.
Yep. Well, see, even circuit boards themselves are not a problem to wash off as long as they dry and don't get any type of oxidation on them.
And are not powered when they get wet.
That's that's the thing. They have to be thoroughly dry before you plug in the power again.
No. As soon as you get a circuit board wet that's under power, you are creating more havoc than you can imagine. If it survives, you are just absolutely butt-fuck lucky. Electricity follows the path of least resistance, and the water or liquid creates that path in many places all at once.
Yes.
Well, lucky for me, I'm not pouring anything else on it until I turn my computer off. I'm just taking the keycaps off of it now because it's something I can do while I'm sitting here.
I need another soda pop.
And Stool, they keep telling you that your Navy has battleships, has submarines. Those are not submarines. Those are the battleships that sunk in World War II that they haven't dredged out of the harbor yet.
And there they shall remain. When Stool was a kid, they used to swim out there and dive down and play in them and act like they were submarines.
That's not nice to say. The British Navy used to rule the planet. Oh, then they invented America.
I'm just teasing, Stool. I don't have anything against the British.
We have the only dick allowed in the chat now.
Only dick allowed anywhere in this area. He's in the chat. That's right.
Oh, hey, Dick.
Ollie said,
The
Kyle,
Dick.
I hope you're as high as I am, buddy.
We're being braced
Always.
in the presence of the Dick.
I gotta
I
say
wish
though,
I was as high as you guys.
Ollie is like another level of stoner. I cannot keep up with that guy.
I wouldn't want to waste the pot, man. I don't need to be that fucking high.
Not a chance. This is all I got right here.
Well, is it any wonder that Colorado was the first one to get recreational marijuana? Denver was the highest city in the country to start with.
This is true. I'm from Colorado. Love all the weed jokes.
That's what's wrong with you, Ben. You're from Colorado.
I'm glad that Colorado legalized it because I'm only 3 hours from the border.
Ben is from Wisconsin.
Well, I'm originally from Wisconsin, but I lived most of my life in Colorado.
Man, I haven't even gotten out of Indiana.
I'm originally, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, but I've lived most of my adult life in Minnesota.
Touche. Oh, Ben, how was the C-section? I wanted to ask you.
Oh, it's so metal. Oh my god, like C-sections are wild.
Really? I
Yeah.
bet.
Because like you just gotta
Cut
rip
somebody up,
their
pull the
muscles.
baby out.
Well, yeah, they like cut and then they just like rip everything apart and pull the baby out. It's metal. Also, a pregnant uterus is huge.
Really?
Humongous.
Damn.
Well, it has to be big enough to contain the whole baby and some other stuff, so yeah.
Yep.
Or 2 or 3.
Yeah. Or 2 or 3 or more babies. All the
Yeah.
babies. Yeah, but at least like C-sections are like it's most of the time it's a happy surgery. It's like everyone's okay and you get a baby out of it. So it's like you're
Yeah.
going into it knowing it's gonna most likely be a happy surgery. So
But
it's pretty nice that
things
way.
can go wrong too.
Things can, but it's like less likely to like compare like the context of the surgery is different than like other surgeries where it's like an emergency and like someone's gonna die or whatever and it's just a serious thing no matter what. It's like
Just in a
babies.
C-section, make sure you don't make that first cut too deep.
Yeah. No, they go layer by layer.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
Yeah.
don't cut it all at once. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I know.
that wouldn't even make sense.
You'd
God,
have to
that's
stab
terrifying.
really, really hard to like puncture the uterus right away.
That's
Especially with that thick of a uterus at that point. Like you'd have to stab really hard with that little
Really?
tiny little tiny scalpel. Well, because everything's so thick in pregnancy.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. It's holding all that fluid in. There's
Yeah.
pressure and a baby moving in it. You want a thick wall, right?
Yeah.
well, it has to hold up to the baby kicking against it.
hmm
Nerdy wants to know if Caesar invented the cesarean section.
I don't know. Maybe. They did a lot of weird stuff in the Roman era anyway, so
I thought it was Caesar Chavez.
I mean he might have. He was a doctor.
I know, Chinese. It terrifies everybody that stool reproduced. It's true.
What?
Yeah, twice.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that explains Brexit.
That explains Brexit. He had 2 kids and fucked up the whole goddamn area, the whole region.
Had 2 children and ruined everything.
Everything.
Well, I think I got all the affected keycaps off.
Yeah, Brexit was a treaty agreement that it was the only way they could prevent war with Germany and France again was to guarantee that Stool would never be able to go to Europe.
Fuck you too, buddy. Nice long middle finger for you there.
You could,
Daddy, that's not very polite.
theoretically,
No,
Stool could
Caesar
walk.
invented the salad. You guys chill out over there.
Mom,
Theoretically-
you can't be letting Dad flip people off. That's rude.
Theoretically, Stool could walk to Europe
Kind of deserved it.
through,
Yeah.
through the channel. Just have to look out for the trains.
The planes and the trains and the automobiles?
Pineapple on
Yes.
Caesarean? No, nerdy. No, we're not starting that argument.
I thought it was part of the Brexit plan that they had already filled in the tunnel.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
So after I rinse my keyboard with water, should I, once I think it's dry, should I then spray it with some isopropyl alcohol to make sure all the water's out of it?
Couldn't hurt.
Could I not just clean it with isopropyl alcohol to start with, though?
Yes.
But the alcohol could evaporate and still leave sugar residue.
That's fair.
Yes,
mean, since
nerdy,
I
a
got the
tunnel with only
keycaps
one
off-
exit is a cave. Yes.
I figure if I get in it with some Q-tips and some isopropyl alcohol, that might be better than just kind of rinsing with water and hoping for the best.
Probably, yeah.
But I'm open to being wrong. That's why I'm talking to people who know more than I do.
Don't talk to
Well,
me then.
Keyboards frequently will have little holes drilled in them for one reason or another that is not occupied by a component. Water can easily get through those little holes and into other regions of the keyboard. There's more than just the keyboard in a keyboard. There's other little sub panels and stuff that actually tell if it's an IBM keyboard or a Windows keyboard or a Mac keyboard.
Right.
And those kinds of things can fry out as well. So what you really need to do is get the whole case opened and dry out every component.
Yeah, that can be difficult though, because once you take the case off, then you can have like tiny springs and things going all the way over, and you might not get all the parts back in right.
No, the springs are contained within the actual plunger of the key.
Not in all of them. Believe me, I'm saying this from experience.
Well, then somebody made a really poor design to keep. What? How many keys are on the keyboard? 88? No, that's a piano.
Woo!
I think a standard
Nashville
QWERTY
Hot Wings.
keyboard with the 10 key pad, I think somewhere I'd heard it was 101 keys.
Oh yeah, I think I heard
Nerdy
that.
said hang the keyboard
105.
up to dry.
105.
Nerdy, Purple suggested blowing a fan on it. What do you think of that? Randy said just hang it up in front of a fan overnight.
Yep, that's what I did. Okay, and maybe I just got lucky, but you know, I took the lazy way out. It worked.
You could put it in your microwave. No, don't do that.
No! Even if it fits, don't do it.
Well, you can cut it in half if it doesn't fit.
No! No. Well, so besides Ben, dealing with asshole doctors, is the rotation going okay? I mean, surgeons rather. Is the rotation going good?
I mean, it's fine. It's OB-GYN, so like not my favorite. Like it's vaginas all day.
Cool.
Touche.
And very heteronormative
No.
because it's all about family planning, but like not everybody's family planning. Just have people that are having babies family planning.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's all that truly matters in that world, right?
yeah. So it's just like it's very. I definitely see the need for LGBTQ affirming OBGYNs and things, which actually, like, that could be a role that I fill if I go family medicine, because I keep forgetting there's a lot of OB-GYN that you do in family medicine that you wouldn't do in internal medicine necessarily. Like, because you're getting the broad stuff in family medicine, you're getting peds, you're getting adults, you're getting OB-GYN.
Right.
So basically, like, you can function as an OB-GYN, just not surgical.
Right.
Like
exactly.
you do everything that's just not the surgeries and not like the really complex stuff.
Right.
So, but we need very much more affirming OB-GYNs.
See, they only have family planning for cis het couples because same-sex couples already know that they have to do a fucking load of planning to have a family of any kind.
I mean, yeah, but you can do IVF and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which
Oh
would
yeah,
have
no,
to be done by no
I was just joking. It definitely
Yeah.
needs to be something that needs to be talked about more in society.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course,
I wish
the people who talk about family planning and family values are usually the people who don't think that gay couples should be allowed to have children.
And don't do family planning, have families of 12 children or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Ben, one of the things you're going to want to get good at is since there's quite a number of trans women who've married cis het women, and they can, well, they wouldn't be het now, would they? Cis women.
I was gonna say.
And if they had reserved sperm samples prior to surgery, they could, of course, get the wife pregnant. And often that trans woman will want to lactate and be able to feed the child as well.
I'm actually going to do like a little presentation on my YouTube channel of a study talking about lactation for trans women.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And there's a specific case report I was going to cover about natural lactation from trans women. So
nice.
Oh yeah, it's perfectly doable. It's been done in the past. It's it's not uncommon. It's not.
Yeah, I want to start doing like a
uncommon.
little series on my channel where I do where I just present case reports.
Yeah, that one gets the TERFs upset too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to cover that one. I'm also going to cover XYXX mosaicism and how people have gotten pregnant and had successful pregnancies. And so I'm going to cover those case studies. There's like lots of stuff that will make TERFs mad. I'm going to cover.
Well, you got to watch that video I linked you to.
Yes.
It's really a spectacular video.
Yeah, I'll watch that one.
I mean, I think you will know everything that the guy says in it, but his method of presentation, and it's just a good way to frame arguments and that sort of thing. That's why I thought of you, not because I didn't think you knew any of it.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the things that was covered in one of my early consultations. Was I had two different doctors go over it with me about whether or not I wanted to have any of my genetic material preserved before I started on the hormones.
Right.
I was kind of impressed that was one of the things that the clinic thought it was important to talk to everyone about.
Yeah, see, that wasn't even something anybody thought of or brought up in my day.
Right.
Yep.
Forget it.
Yeah, well, I am definitely have had enough of raising kids.
Yeah,
at this age, I can't imagine starting with an infant again.
Yeah, back then the attitude was, look, you're going through a sex change, and you're going to marry a man. What are you going to need sperm for? Get him pregnant? No, it can't be done. So it's just not something anybody did because lesbian transgender women didn't exist.
Yep. Oh.
Anyways, what's some damn good hot wings? My sinuses are cleared up now. Fuck.
Okay, when you do hot wings, like what's the level of sauce that you use?
I will be back.
That was severely coated big ass wings, covered in Nashville hot.
Nice.
With a lot of like breading and stuff on it, so it wasn't like that thin where you get a little big bite of meat and just a little bit of sauce. No, like that bitch is loaded. Woo.
Well, I mean, chicken wings have no meat on them to start with, so the
those
whole point is
those aren't the little ones. These are like this big around.
Yeah,
for the
but
legs.
The whole point of it is to make sure that you're getting more sauce than you are meat.
Oh, they did it. Oh my god, they did it.
Yep.
That shit is hot. I bought that for the orange mukbang that I was going to do with Ben that got canceled. So I threw them in my freezer and then I took them back out. And...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't do the spicy stuff either, but you know, I definitely like a good barbecue.
Barbecue is so good.
Yeah, near 11 o'clock at night, I'm trying to figure out where I can get wings.
Sorry, dude. They're horrible. Don't eat them.
Yeah.
So nasty.
So bad. Don't eat
Don't eat 'em.
wings.
Totally working.
We have to build a beaver buggy for delivery stool. What the hell have you? You guys got on the beaver delivering business in time for Christmas? What the fuck? Stool just called Dr. Mukbang. Bong.
That's me.
Whatever the fuck you want. It's not spelled like bong. I don't know. I have trouble saying that. Very phonetic. Which is usually good if you're trying to read off those big long names on for prescriptions. The generic names.
Oh, I like only know the generic names, so
I know you do. Yeah, and
So I'm
I'm
comfortable
learning the
reading those
generic
off.
names. Yeah.
I
So,
doubt I
yeah.
could pronounce the actual name of any of my prescriptions aside from the gabapentin.
Well, I don't know my new one. I'd have to go get it out of the truck. I don't want to. See, I'm so ADD, I'm afraid I'm going to forget to take it in the morning. So I put it in my truck. So if I forget, I'll get halfway to work and go, oh, good, here it is. Because I know me. But it's like the generic for Adderall is what.
Even with the bottle in my hand, I wouldn't be able to figure out how to pronounce most of these.
Oh, I mean, they're really just phonetic. Like you have to take one chunk at a time and say it out and learn it. Like that's what I've done. It's just, I don't know. Once you're around them more and you hear people saying them too, it helps. But most of the time I just read them. And I have these patients that are like, oh, I need a prescription refilled. And I already called the pharmacy. It said I had to call you. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And they're like, oh, I don't know how to say it. And they spell it out. And I'm like, oh, it's this. And they're like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, yeah, it's close enough.
I love
know
to
what
hear.
you're talking about. Sometimes I fuck it up a little bit.
I love people's funny ways of pronouncing certain drug names. Like clopidogrel is one of my favorites because people say cloppy dogrel. And I'm like, I love that.
Cloppy dogrel?
That's what some people say.
See, when I saw that medicine, that's exactly how I said it. Is well, a little. I had one vowel off of what you just said, but almost right.
And there's this one lady back when I was on internal medicine. She came into the ED, and it was so funny because she just was not compliant with her medications, and it was kind of funny, but kind of sad, but kind of funny. Because she had she had a bunch of pill bottles with her, but she had this one pill bottle that had mixed pills in it. There are two different types of pills mixed together in this bottle, and it was folate supplements, so vitamin B and clonidine mixed together in one bottle.
Isn't that? Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm right. That's a mood stabilizer, right?
Yeah, it's an alpha 2 agonist, so it inhibits your sympathetic nervous system. It's like a regulator for your nervous system.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's used for mood regulation and stuff. Yeah. But why are you mixing clonidine with your vitamin B supplement?
I just take one. It's all just a crapshoot. Every morning when I get up, just toss one out of the bottle, take it. We'll see what happens.
Okay, all I'm saying...
I do that every day. What's the big deal?
All I'm saying is that there should be a law against having 6 syllables without a punctuation mark in there somewhere.
Okay, say that one, Ben. Telemagene, Lahir,
Yeah, I'm not saying that one. I got telemagene.
Vec.
I haven't even heard of that drug. What even is that for?
Either. What the fuck is that, nerdy? Are you making that up? Is that really a drug you take? I mean,
because I've never heard of that drug.
Private, then don't tell us. But
it's from England, so it doesn't exist. We covered that already.
Oh yeah,
that's true. England has some weird drug names.
Touche.
England has bizarre names for things like ibuprofen.
Yeah, right. And like Tylenol, like paracetamol. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You mean acetaminophen? They call it What is it?
Yeah, paracetamol. That was
paracetamol.
Yep.
In England, because they're
Paracetamol.
weird.
Oh wow.
just the most common over-the-counter drugs. They have just bizarre names for them.
Yeah, I don't
Matt Pig
understand.
said they're lewds. Nerdy beyond the good stuff. They painkillers? Is that what they are? It's probably like hydrocodone or oxycodone or something.
Probably.
Yeah, I can't get any of the good stuff.
So is that like hydrocodone acetaminophen, or what is that shit? 7.5325 or
Probably Dilaudid or something.
Might be something strong. I don't know.
My favorite is when people come in and they're like,
God, what the fuck is
There you
that?
go, mixed drugs.
That looks like candy.
Well, it's not.
It looks like
I love when
fucking
people
Although what it does
coming
mean
in-
you get to play with later.
people saying that they're like allergic to all painkillers except for Dilaudid.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. You know what my ex you'll enjoy this, Ben. So okay, picture it. Paramedic, right? And somebody gets an ambulance, they're in all this pain, they called 911, right? And you can tell they're not and they're faking it, but you have to go off of what they say just in case. So you take them in anyways, right? Just got them in the back of the she used to do this all the time with the druggies, right? Drug seekers. Oh man, I'm in a lot of pain. And they used to call it in Columbus, Ohio, they called it dilly dod instead of Dilaudid. You gave that dilly dod? Yeah, dilly dod. She'd go, no, but I have some normalsaline. That's way better than dilly dod. And they go, oh yeah, man, give me some of that. So she put normal saline.
Normalsaline.
She'd give them a shot of saline out of her bag, and they'd be like, oh yeah, man.
Oh my God.
It's so much better. Oh, thanks, man. You're the best. And she's like, you fucking idiot.
The placebo effect is real.
And she write on her chart,
Yeah.
injected 1 syringe of normal saline.
Oh, we have a little test for people, especially like when they say they have abdominal pain and they're doing that. Like we'll test for pain, like because obviously like they know when to wince and stuff when you're pushing on their stomach. So you take your stethoscope, like how you're gonna listen to their bowel sounds, and you push about the same that you would push if you were gonna
they
palpate.
think you're not pushing.
And then and they don't, and if they don't do anything, if they don't respond to that, then they're probably not actually in pain. But if they are in pain, you watch their face, and their face is gonna tell you.
Oh yeah.
Because if they're in real pain, the same amount of pressure is going to produce pain. So
And if they're in real pain, they're gonna wince between the eyebrows and forehead. You're gonna see it tighten quite severely. They're really in pain.
Unless it's that shocking pain where you're like, motherfucker.
yeah, but I don't care much about the shock pain.
Like the time that my brother pulled my foot off of a nail because I stomped my foot down on this nail. I was walking on this pile of boards, real smart, right? In sneakers, not even work boots. And I kind of went, God damn it, I can't believe we have to clean all this shit up. And I stomped on a nail and it stuck in the bone of my foot. And he had to yank my foot off the nail.
Yeah.
That didn't even hurt. That didn't even hurt yet. What hurt was he took my shoe. So he calls mom, gets the phone, calls mom at she's at work at the school and says, Mom, blah blah blah. And she's like, okay, well, put her foot upside down and pour some fucking peroxide in it, something to get that shit out of there until I get home and I'll look at it. And so my brother takes my shoe off, pulls my sock off, and my sock was stuck up in there. And it was those old 70s socks with the big loop on the inside. And it just yanked out. And I was like, oh, that is not cool anymore. That's when it started hurting. 12 penny nail.
Here, Ben. This is my medications.
Oh my God.
Stool said, quit bitching about bowels and check my left armpit, you voodoo witch doctor.
I'll check your armpit. You gotta let me come find you though.
This is ripe for editing. Shut up, Matt Big.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt Big. Hi.
Edit this, asshole. Love you, man.
Why did they
Well,
make
Matt Fig wasn't even here for the whole Clitorade thing.
I know
Yeah,
you missed the
Matt
whole
was not here
Clitorade.
for Clitorade.
It is actually like what was that aid they had back in the day? Oh, it's like Farm Aid, but it's for clitorises where women, girls have gotten their clitoris removed in some of those countries, so they can save up money to give them a fake clitoris,
female
basically,
genital
and they called it Clitorade. So enjoy that, have fun with it. We'll see you in a minute. Kyle's laughing. Oh shit, man. You guys are too much. Eat curry while you touch my armpit, said Stool.
This is getting weird.
What the fuck, Stool? Man, you see, this is why you don't last on the panel long. It's not that your phone dies. Your phone's like, no, dude, you do not need to be on here running your mouth right now. That's what it is.
No, I love Stool. We can keep Stool.
No, I do too. He knows I love him. I just love to give him shit because he gives everybody shit. When I first met him, I thought he was a complete fucking asshole. And then I realized later that he's only partially an asshole. He's just very sarcastic. But he's a good kind of asshole. He's funny.
By the way, I blame my quietness on the fact that Ollie pushes me to get higher, and I am just so gone.
Oh, come on, get
So
higher.
you're saying you're susceptible to peer pressure is what I'm hearing.
Oh, yeah, completely. Well, with some things, not everything.
Hey, Ben, here's my other bag of medications.
So many medications.
I might actually have you beat on
This is a
medication.
fun bag.
Well, that hit came out my ears, man. Fuck. Don't do that again.
Yeah, still
Good
not
for
allowed
you,
to have
buddy,
fun
said
here.
Ollie. It's only good to a point, and then you get too stupid, Ollie. Well, not you. Anybody does. I also learned nerdy. I also learned today that when humans form, one of the first bits is the arsehole.
Yes, because we are deuterostomes, I believe is the word.
Well, hate to break it to you, nerdy, but that's true for rats too. What happens with all mammals?
Wait a minute. Wait. What? Start this over. What?
When a new zygote becomes an embryo, one of the first recognizable structures is the anus.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Stool said he's 16% asshole and 94. You know, I really feel like, first
He's
of all, that
underestimated.
adds up to more than 100. Let me just start there. Second of all, I feel like you might have those numbers flipped.
I think the fact that it adds up to more than 100 kind of disputes the mathematician part.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well, they say 12 out of 10 people are bad
Big
at math.
fan fiction book 4, huh? Yes, we all started out as assholes, Stool. That's what we decided to do with it. That's why I'm not an asshole anymore. I used to be.
Yes, Stool, the difference is that some of us grow out of it.
Dude, I got pissed at work today. I got sick of these fucking people calling and demanding shit and then treating us like crap. Like, it just pissed me off today. There was like 3 calls in a row where everybody was just an asshole. And I was like, fuck this shit, man. I said, I will fucking clock out and beat someone's ass if they talk to me like that in person. Fuck that. It's just not, I mean, I can only put up with so much. That's why I have trouble staying at jobs. I can't stand disrespected. Everywhere I go, I find it. And I just can't, I won't put up with it. Although I do love my job and I'll probably will not quit at all. But
Yeah, that's why I had to go back to being self-employed. I couldn't deal with the office environment and too many levels of supervisors.
well, see, I don't have that problem where I work because it's the providers, 3 providers, and then an office manager, and then a girl that worked there for 7 years that came back, and she kind of just does her own thing and helps us out, but like she takes care of all the insurance shit and billing shit and all that stuff. So that's like her, and medical records and stuff. That's like her shiznit over there. So like all the time I'm saying to my manager, I'm like, hey, Michelle, we need to do blah, blah, blah. And she doesn't say, I'm the man. She doesn't do that. If I say something to her like, hey, don't forget, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, yep, thanks. Appreciate you telling me. Yes, I almost forgot about that. Or I did forget. Or, yeah, you're right. We should do that first. Or whatever. So it's not like that where I work. It's more of a team environment. And that's one of the reasons I like it. That's one of the main reasons I like it. It's just because everybody helps everybody. I go to do something and Marissa's like, oh, I got it. I got a B. There you go. It's printing. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like she types like, I don't know, 100 words a minute or something. You ever see one of those kids and they get a hold of your keyboard and they go across the computer keyboard?
Yep.
And it's just like, sounds like a bunch of keys clacking. That's what it sounds like when she's typing. And every time she does, it'll get really quiet. We laugh because it'll get really quiet in the office. You know how like all the sound stops at once?
Uh-huh.
And then you hear, and then I look at her and we both start laughing. And she's like, that didn't even sound like I typed anything, did it? I'm like, no, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm over there like with this finger and these 3 fingers typing 48, 50 words a minute, I'm pretty fast with 4 fingers, but not the point. So
typing is terrible.
It's just funny. It's funny. What's that, Kyle?
My typing speed is atrocious.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a finger pecker, like one at a time kind of thing. My brain just doesn't work like that.
Although I do find it interesting that I was born left-handed and they made me switch hands because the school I went to was so fucking ass backwards that they said the left hand was the wrong hand to use. So they made me use my right hand. But when I type, I use 3 or 4 fingers on my left hand and I use 1 on my right. And I didn't really know that until I started working there. And then I catch myself doing that. Like I'm typing almost everything with my left hand. And I'm like, oh shit. Yep, there you go. Team has a screwed up me in it. Okay, perps. I can dig it. There's
I didn't
one
know one
eye
of the
in
disturbing.
submarine. Shut up, what the fuck? You brought up the submarines again.
I love Stool.
He's fucking killing me tonight. He's on a roll. Oh fuck!
One of the disturbing things I've always had to deal with is that little voice in my head that keeps saying, "Kill your boss, kill your boss," because that's terrifying when you're self-employed.
Holy fucking purple! I fucking love you. So Harmonica Man said, "Jenny, you don't have the pen needles?" Question mark.
No.
Are you doing your estrogen?
Yeah.
Is that what he's talking about? Oh yeah. No, it doesn't come like that. It comes in a little vial, and you have to draw it up yourself, just like Justin.
Oh, you can actually you can get the pen needles.
Yeah, but most insurance won't cover that.
Yeah, the pen needles are a lot more.
They're just gonna fight you for it. It's just easier and it's cheaper. Like I paid.
It's cheaper to do it yourself. I'm just saying that
I have 3.5 months worth of tea.
Yeah, the pen needles are a lot more expensive, so the insurance companies don't want to pay for them.
I asked my doctor to switch me to injectables because I missed my heroin habit.
No, not 3. Did I say 3.5? 2.5.
It's not true, by the way. That was just a joke.
Yeah, no, B, I had the same amount.
Roll your eyes, Jenny. I see that. What's that, Ben?
I have the same amount that you do. Like we take ours almost exactly in the same way. So I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I actually, when I figured it, so here's the deal, right? So I told her I wanted to start out. She was going to start me out on 45, and then she just made it 50 because it was easier with the dosage and shit. And I told her, I said, well, I want to switch to 60. I want to start out. I'll start out at like 45 or 50, and I want to switch to 60. And she's like, that's fine. So I just, after I got past my 3rd shot, now I'm just going to.
Yeah, I'm
just going to draw up 60 every time because I have plenty. They gave me a month's worth, and I have 2.5 months worth. So
yeah, you should get 3 out of each vial for if you're doing 60, because I'm doing 60.
Yeah, but I'm probably not as good as getting.
I've got some extra.
I have trouble getting that last little bit out. I mean, Heather even showed me a trick of how to do it, but I still have trouble getting that last little bit out. So I waste a little bit every time. And also the first bottle, remember I threw it out, and it had 2 more doses in it.
Yeah.
So I lost 2 weeks worth. Yeah.
Okay,
Harmonica Man was thinking insulin.
Oh yeah.
He
you can
would
get the pen needles for pretty much anything. But,
you can. Yeah, they'll even with insulin, they still fight on the more expensive, the better needles with the better stuff. They'll fight you on it, but you can get the cheaper ones covered by.
You can buy needles off eBay.
Yeah, I bought my own.
I just get them at work.
Needles.
My
eBay
boss just told me
and
take
Amazon.
whatever you want that we have, and so I just some diabetic syringes, perfect size, some 21 gauge.
Yeah, I end up ordering my own
Take
needles
whatever I want.
because it's too much of a pain to renew the prescription on them.
Yeah, I have
needles?
so many needles.
Yeah, needles and syringes. Yeah.
Ollie,
Woo!
how was Big Brother
Ollie.
or Survivor or whatever the fuck your Desperate Housewives? What was it?
Would help if I turned on my mic, I guess. It was Big Brother, and yeah.
Okay, so younger Desperate Housewives. Okay, how was that? Was that good?
I enjoyed it. I'm not a desperate housewife, but I enjoyed it. What's going on?
No,
guys?
I just meant it's drama. It's just a different kind of drama. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
I used to watch. I watched it the first couple seasons that came out, or first 2 years, or whatever it was, year and a half. And then I was
never
just
watched
like,
it.
and I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah, I never watched Big Brother until they did a Canadian version of it, and then I watched it, and then I got hooked. So I've been watching.
I've never seen that. There's a Canadian Big Brother.
Yep, there is. Yeah,
I bet it's totally different than our stupidity down here, right?
It's almost exactly the same thing. It's just Canadian,
Really?
all Canadian contestants. Yeah. So
at least you admit it. No, it's stupid and dramatic.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Do any of you watch the Housewives of What the Fuck with that woman Bethany something or other?
No.
Well, if you do, you may want to stop watching it because she just came out and literally attacked trans children. And
What? There you go. She's a bitch.
In her blog and stuff like that, and says she's going to do it again this week.
Who is that? Who are you talking about?
Bethany Frankel.
Bethany Frankel.
Yeah.
Why do I know that name? What is she on?
She's the producer of the Housewives of different areas, Orange County, Hollywood, whatever.
Yeah, she's. I mean, I
My
guess
ex watches that shit. That's where I know that name. That's exactly.
B.
Well,
Yeah,
she challenged social media to cancel her.
Well, let's get it done.
I think we should do just that.
Let's
Retweet,
do it. Let's do it.
Retweet.
How do I
Retweet.
cancel her? By not watching? Because I don't watch.
Well, then you write advertisers and tell them to stop sponsoring and just everything you can do to.
Yeah, if you start telling advertisers that you're not going to buy their product because of what she said, they'll start backing out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. They're worried about their bottom line. They don't give a fuck who Bethany Frankel is.
The most effective thing are consumer boycotts. If you
Yes.
can get a vocal enough group on social media to say they'll boycott a company, they'll pull their advertising, and that can kill a show.
Here's a for instance. Let me tell you what you can do by word of mouth if you really want to. So all these women got mad at Walmart because they weren't giving them raises and stuff. They all started pitching a fit. Guess what Walmart did recently? About a year later, they gave them all maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, they gave them all big ass fucking raises and put them up to where the guys are. And it will stay like that now because they fucking lost business. People stopped walking in the door.
Good.
It works. You hurt their pocket. By God, they're gonna fucking listen. Hey, Mindy, how are you?
B, I sent you.
Yeah, buddy.
I sent you a thing on Twitter. So I got an ad for a ring company called Manly Bands. They do like very expensive rings, but they're really nice. But I got an ad for them, and the first one that came up was it's a trans flag.
Really?
On a Manly band.
Hmm.
That makes me very happy.
Can you get them made out of titanium?
This one's made out of cobalt.
$525.
They're expensive,
chrome.
but they're pretty.
And
I was just happy that they're progressive. And
It's
then they have one
beautiful,
that's for
well
trans guys.
made, it's classy.
And it's for trans guys.
Ben, you got to stop saying pretty. That's a girl word.
It's cool, dude. Like what we talked about that, Ben. No, I'm kidding. We have talked. That is cool,
No,
though,
it's
man.
no,
Now
their
I'm
rings
gonna
are
have to
awesome.
look. Great.
But
Now I gotta look.
so if I ever
They
get
make
married, I'll
wooden-
probably get a ring from them.
They make wooden rings too. Awesome.
They make some nice stuff, yeah.
Oh.
They
I
make
want
antler rings.
to get one of those rings that they make, that these guys make, that they can shape a ring out of a quarter, and I'd like to get it made with a quarter of the year of my birth.
Oh, that'd be a
That'd
good
be cool.
idea.
Yeah, they're very
Wow.
expensive, but they're very nice.
Dude, these are really cool though.
Yeah, so it's definitely like wedding ring, engagement ring, like material.
Or slash something fancy you want to put. Some of these are really they're like
Yeah,
$3
something you
grand.
want to spend a lot of money on.
I see there's some company that's now making men's rings out of silicone. This, the same kind of stuff as you get on those bracelets, Armstrong bracelets or whatever they say. And that's, it's something that they can wear at work because it will tear away if it gets captured by a machine.
Yes.
That it won't
Yeah.
spark.
Yeah,
Yes.
people in grappling use those a lot too, because in contact sports, you don't want your finger to get ripped off.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, you don't
No,
want
you
them to,
really don't.
you don't want your ring crushed and then have to slip the cutter under the ring still.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of construction guys that have been switching over to those silicone rings and shit because of that. And they can't wear metal ones at work anyways if they're like a machinist or something, So if they have those, they can pretty much wear them all the time.
That's why for 30 years I have not worn any jewelry. Just too much of a hazard around power tools.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I really don't. Once in a while, I'll put something on.
The biggest reason I didn't wear any jewelry for all these years is that I don't own any.
Well, that'll do it.
That's the thing that, now I've got to learn to start accessorizing. So I've got to start, picking up some things like that.
My dad tattooed his ring on his finger. I strongly recommend you don't do this because it wears
because
away
if you
very
get
quickly.
divorced.
Well, no, it wears away very quickly.
Really?
He did it like 5 years ago, and it's gone on the bottom half of his hand.
Really?
And fading right out on the top half of his hand.
Huh.
So
I didn't know.
I don't recommend that you get.
He must have been very callous. He must have very callousy hands when he had
Well,
that done.
he works with his hands all the time, right? So it's gone from this part of his hand altogether.
Oh,
and
shit,
you can see it up here, but it's got a big chunk of it because he cut his hand one time and the skin went away and grew back without it, right? So
I think wives would like to have their husbands branded in that way so that they can't cheat in a bar by taking off their
No,
Look
but
at that
I
one,
can see
Ben.
on the hand it won't last long. That anywhere that the skin gets worn out too quickly,
it's
that it's going to expose the dye under the skin.
Ooh.
It's mahogany and it has a snake skin around it.
That's awesome.
Under glass. Oh,
can
you
they
wanna see
make
it,
the
Jenny?
one ring?
Okay, B, when you're showing things
That's
like that, you got to remember to make yourself go solo mode so it was bigger on the
I
screen.
know. I just hate being solo mode.
I want to know if they can make the one ring.
Yeah,
If I
but
throw
Pete,
it in fire, will it light up with lettering around the
that you
inside?
just showed me was this big on screen.
Okay. Okay. If I find next one I find that I like, I'll show you. Pressure.
I'm just really
Peer
happy
pressure.
that this company is like an ally.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
nice.
cool as hell, man.
Okay, I just want to say that Sloth Girl and I could never live together, but if anybody's shopping, she's got material to be a good boyfriend. For my birthday, she bought me chocolates and jewelry and took me out to dinner.
There you go. Carbon fiber, diamonds and gems, camo, silicone. They got all kinds of different ones. That's really cool. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, they do some good stuff.
Yeah, and the silicone ones are actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, I actually have a tattoo that I wish that it could be faded because the color didn't come out right when they did it. It came out too dark.
Well,
Oh, yeah?
keep rubbing it a lot.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be purple, but it came out looking more like a dark blue.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, there isn't really any way they can recolor it.
Right.
Hmm. I have a tattoo
Valid.
appointment coming up on the 20th.
What are you gonna
Excited
get?
about that.
Bastard. I mean, good job.
Right here on my chest, it's going to be a raven,
Nice. How big?
about palm size.
Oh, okay. Rock on.
Yeah.
What's the meaning behind it?
Well, first and foremost, the ravens is my favorite bird.
Okay.
Second, I'm a big Norse mythology fan, and
Okay.
the raven represents wisdom and memory. Or no, sorry, thought and memory.
Thoughts and memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Odin's two ravens. Yeah.
So is
Yep.
it like a memorial piece?
Oh no, I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
wanting it.
Rock on.
I have other spots on my body that I'm saving for memorial pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could dig it.
I actually have a tattoo from when I used to be I actually identified as a Norse pagan. I don't know if you can see it.
Not really.
I can see the
Alright.
general form.
Make them solo,
Yeah.
then we can see
It's
it.
circular wheel-ish. We can see that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
B,
it's
put him on solo so you can show it bigger.
And give us white light.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Pussy.
ma'am.
oh yeah, white light.
Brighter
There's a
light,
pussy.
Kyle. Brighter light.
There you go.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's called
Yeah,
the
that's
helm.
cool.
It's called the Helm of Awe. It's supposed to be a
Aw.
protection symbol.
Ah. Aw. Who
Well, it's
said
also for
aw?
puppy. Aw.
See, if
I
Kyle
knew it
likes
was
all the
coming.
Norse stuff, you should be a fan of my full name.
Oh yeah.
Torben.
Oh. Yeah. That's
Oh.
That's his entire name. His first
That's
name
my
is
full
Torben.
name.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Thor's
God.
bear.
Yeah, I'm
Kind of funny, isn't it, Ben? Depends on the mood. Who knows? Oh shit.
There's a cat.
Hey, Santi the Sane. How the fuck are you? Let me know if you want in. What time is it, anyways? 9:24. Oh, we got time left.
Santi, I've been waiting for you to show up at my house so we can have sex. What's the deal?
Jenny wants to brush her hair with her toes. No, kidding. I don't know.
I could do that. I could do that.
Jenny's like, "What's your kink? I'm cool. Let me know." Really, harmonica. I wanted tattoos when I was a kid, and even when I was in high school. And I was like, "No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to make sure it's something I really want, and it's going to be done the way I want. And I want to be a good artist. I'll save up money." And I've got, for all the tattoos I have, I only have like maybe $1,500 in them. So I've gotten some pretty, I don't even think it's that much. I think it's more like $1,200 altogether. I've had some pretty good bargains in my life. I've met people that are friends of friends and stuff. So
I think health insurance should pay for tattoos.
yeah, okay.
It's
I definitely
procedure.
I want a tattoo for my chosen name. Like I want to get like this Norse looking like bear claw.
Oh
on
hell
my
yeah!
shoulder.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, that would be awesome, Ben. What a good idea.
Yeah, it'll symbolize Torben. It'll be fantastic.
Fuck yeah. I think that's great. It's a great idea. Yeah, see, the only thing I don't really like about tattoos, I'm kind of a tattoo snob. I don't like it when people put random tattoos on themselves that mean nothing. And they have a whole bunch of random tattoos that, oh, what's that mean? Does that symbolize something? No, I just decided to put a Reese cup on my arm. What? There's people that have like Hershey milk chocolate bars and stuff. I don't get it. What does that symbolize to you? A junk food habit? I love
chocolate.
What's the point? I just feel like they should mean something. They're there permanent. People are going to look at them when you're dead.
I did this portrait of my mom and dad back in early 70s, mid 70s. They were in their 40s. It's really a stunning portrait. and it's black and white. And I would like to find a tattoo artist who can do that photorealistic kind of tattooing.
Mhm.
Except I'm so afraid that they would fuck it up, and then you're stuck with this thing that doesn't look like your parents on you for the rest of your life.
You know, you have to be really picky, and you have to go like get tattoo artists that like you see pictures of them doing the tattoos in their scrapbooks, not just here's a finished tattoo.
Yeah,
But,
if I was going to get something that
you have to
elaborate,
watch it. Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely ask if I could talk to any of their previous clients.
Well, I saw this guy's work who actually is in La Crosse, not far from here, who does the photorealistic 3D stuff, but he's booked up for the next 2 years. So I think that says something about him.
Right. And you can also, if you find like a tattoo shop or something, you can also go find them. Most of them have Facebook pages for the pictures. So you can go there and like find them and ask people about them that have commented and stuff. And it like you can check on them just through Facebook. You know what I mean? But I mean, any social media that they're on, you can do that with.
Yeah, well, and most established tattoo artists, they'll have a Facebook page, and you can contact a bunch of their previous clients through
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, and they'll say things like, "Yeah, he's okay as long as he's not drunk," you know. And
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos yet, because they're very expensive, and I wanted to figure out what I was gonna do with my tattoo, and I was like thinking my name is the perfect thing. Like I think that's a perfect first one to get.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
like
a cool.
And it's a cool name, and it's something that's gonna be with me like forever, and it's something that I chose for myself because like it's my chosen name. So
You
Well,
know,
there
I
you
just
go.
figure if like after I do surgery, if the scars are too bad, I'm just gonna put like a big like he him or something on my. I'm kidding. I would never fucking do that.
There's this
would
woman
be,
on trans
you know,
woman on
weird.
Twitter who went with the Norse mythology theme for her name, and it's just beautiful. It's pronounced Verthandi, Vyrthandi.
yeah, it's a nice name.
Yeah, it really is nice. And you know, the letter arrangement, it looks nice that way, and it rolls off your tongue. It's really neat.
I like
You
when
need to
things
get-
roll off my tongue. Well,
You need to get tattooed on your top surgery scars. It needs to say, "My nipples are offensive."
that would be awesome, man. My nipples are offensive.
Yeah, I was thinking about that in terms of what's considered obscene and stuff like that. At what point does a trans woman become obscene in terms of her display of her chest?
See, it's weird.
Once she's got boobs.
And if TERFs believe that you can't change gender, then how do they feel about if somebody sent them a bunch of photographs of post-op crotches?
I don't think they'd be able to tell that it was whether it was a cis person or a trans person, because like most people can't tell like someone who's post-op if they had surgery or not. You don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's what my doctor says. She said,
Yeah.
well, you can't tell.
Okay,
you can't tell.
Even the stuff below out of it, but if the Turks are insisting that trans women are men, then they shouldn't have a problem with them going topless.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, but does society and the law? That's really the question. Who cares?
Actually, in Columbus, Ohio, you can walk around topless legally. So when Gay Pride hits, there's a lot of topless people.
I think in Colorado you can too.
Including people in transition. You will see anytime you go there, you will see a group of guys / I don't know what to call them. They dress like guys, but they have huge boobs.
Yep.
That's all I know. Like otherwise they identify male. So I don't know, but they do that every year just to be assholes. They go and they take their shirts off and walk down the street.
They're maybe fat guys.
No, these are like these are like implanted boobs.
Oh, really?
Like some of them are large. Yes,
Drag
large.
queens, transvestites.
Maybe, I don't know. I guess I would have had to have talked to him and ask him how they label themselves. I don't know. But I thought it was funny. It was a little shocking at first.
I think in Colorado, I think you can.
They were
go
not
topless
attractive
now.
guys.
I was reading the short story that one of the characters that's featured is a transgender woman who's just going through
Right.
process, just beginning and stuff. And there's a scene that they wrote in the book that where she, although she wasn't living 24 hours and identifying on a legal structure as female yet, but was on hormones and the chest was beginning to develop and got arrested on the beach for nudity.
Wow.
Now, of course, that's just a novel things that people are just making up. But
Right.
It's an interesting thought. At what point is a person a lawbreaker?
Randy
Yeah,
said
it's
they don't
also
even have
arbitrary.
topless coffee there. They put a lid on that shit.
I just think like people have bodies, and like bodies are bodies,
That
and
was
like why are
funny.
we so freaked out about people's bodies?
I don't know.
You know, I was asking myself,
Like,
okay, so I was going through this thing through my head, right? And I was the whole bathroom thing, right? And I was thinking, you know, where I've always been in my life previous to now, I've never felt comfortable in either one. And then I was really thinking about it, and I was like, that's just society, man. Why is it? Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares if you might see someone's ass like I've never seen an ass before?
right? It's like bodies are bodies, and like people didn't choose
Exactly.
their bodies just happened. And like if someone is confident in their body and wants to show their body, like why should I care? Like I don't want to show my body, but that's my personal choice. Like I
Here's
don't
my
have
big.
What's
big fear.
annoying about it is the double standards. That okay, what's going to happen if some guy, you know, with a big package wears a men's thong on the beach, and a woman wears a thong on the beach? Who's going to get harassed?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, guy could if he looks good enough, but you know, when guys wear
I'm
thongs
talking
on the
about- I'm
beach
talking
so their
about the law.
junk sticking out, they're doing it for a reason.
I'm talking about the law, not
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
okay.
So anyways, here's my fear. The only time I use a public restroom anymore these days is at work, which is a one stall, male and female, doesn't fucking matter. Just a room, you know, it's in a doctor's office, or at the gym. Little freaked out about walking to the guys' room at a gym where these guys are fucking huge and would beat the living fuck out of me.
Yeah, this is why I've stopped going to the public gym for a little bit.
Really like, because I go to the gym in the morning and then I go to work. So I go take a shower. So now I'm stuck going into the women's room where I don't feel safe and I feel awkward. But
Yeah, see,
they're not going to beat me up.
With you
But
in
they're
this.
not going to beat me up because I don't have a dick. So,
Well,
what
see,
do you do?
I don't use. Yeah, this is why I haven't been going to public gyms, but everywhere else, like I use the men's room, like even if it's public. But I have a STP that looks very realistic.
But it's
so
also
I can...
different taking a piss than taking a shower and somebody might see you.
Oh yeah, I don't shower in public.
See, that's what I'm saying though. Is I normally.
That's why I don't go to public gyms right now.
Yeah, but I go to the gym in the morning. I can't go to work sweaty. I end up showering.
You might just have to pick a gym time when you can go shower at home afterwards.
I consider.
You know why I
myself very
can't?
lucky.
Because at the end of the day, I don't have energy to go to the gym. I'm so active at work. I have to go in the beginning of the day, but what the good news is when I go in the morning and then go to work, I'm not as quite as like, okay, let's do
you
something.
Go on the weekend?
Because it actually well, that's pretty much my rest time. I don't usually even leave. I don't even go to town on the weekends unless I need to.
As you can
the gym's 30 minutes away.
Okay.
So I mean, I live out in the middle of nowhere almost. Almost. If I was 15 more minutes that way, I would literally be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just shitty, and I just wanted to.
They need to have just like showers that can be
it.
closed off, where like they're actually private.
Well, this is what gets me about it. Like, They kind of do, because I go to Planet Fitness and they have changing rooms, right? Changing stall. And all the stalls there actually have the metal down the edges. That's what I was talking about the other day of the stalls. You can't see through the stalls. There's no opening, and it's great, like except for where the door is, and it's very small, you know. So that makes me feel more comfortable in general. But the changing rooms here, and then they have this little section here where you can like strip off your towel or your clothes and get into the shower. But if you bring anything in there and it's on the floor, it's going to get wet.
Yeah,
so
they need.
I go in there and close that curtain over and make sure it's really against both sides so nobody can see in. And then I feel okay about it. But I watch that fucking curtain. I'm afraid it's going to open, you know?
Yeah,
like,
they need actual doors with
stressful,
like hooks for your clothes.
God, I mean, they have that in the changing room side, but not on the shower side.
Yeah, well, they need that on the shower side.
I mean, what am I going to do? Just like walk out with a towel around my waist like I would at home and be like, I haven't had top surgery yet. I'm in the men's room. That's not going to work out well for me.
No, yeah, it would not
Fuck
go
no
well.
matter what.
Like, why are public bathrooms like so against privacy? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, why can't you have a shower that's closed off like the bathroom stalls?
I don't know. Like, why not? Like, really? They need to do something about that.
Because they have to pay for the building structures to make that happen, and they're cheap bucks.
Construction
you know,
cost.
One of the reasons you cannot have two doors that will hit each other. And in most of those areas, you can't have it's the one I'm in, they actually have room for it. But the previous Planet Fitness I used to go to, if they had doors outside the showers, they would have hit the doors that were at the changing rooms.
Is Planet Fitness the one that's $10 a month?
Huh?
Is Planet Fitness the one that is $10 a month?
Yes. I pay $22 a month because I want to be able to go fucking lay on the massage table and shit. Because I like to do that. If I really like work myself hard, I go lay on the massage table, loosen up all my muscles.
Oh, I thought the shower was part of the $22 a month. That you pay $10, you stink when you leave.
No. The only thing that the $10 you can do anything except for the massage and the tanning beds. You can do everything.
Yeah,
else.
I would totally go to Planet Fitness, but most of their locations they took away squat racks, like the actual squat racks. They only have like Smith machines.
Oh, the ones that have the
yeah, which are like not safe to squat on because it doesn't let you do your full range of motion safely. Like you can't squat in a straight line. It's like really bad for your knees and your back and stuff.
Oh yeah, because of the way the ones they have are slightly angled, so when you come down, the bar.
It's still like I want like a free squat, like an actual squat rack.
Yeah,
and like an actual like deadlifting platform.
Yeah, but people have broke their backs like that. Well, you know, people have broke their backs like that. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like,
well, but
I do have to say though, Planet Fitness has some of the safest equipment. They really do.
Yeah, but that's the problem though. It's like people like it's an education thing, but I don't think that's a reason to like take the equipment out of because like other gyms have that equipment.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it just
it's gonna have the good equipment, but.
Well, you know, some of the gyms though are geared more towards people that have been doing this for a long time, and when you have people that are in bad shape and they're anxious to go get in better shape, they will hurt themselves.
And that's why I can't go to Planet Fitness because like I need the extra equipment.
Yeah. So. No, I get it. It's not for everybody. It's just cheap and. It's on my way to work, and the other gyms are all
mine's $10 a month.
A bunch of rich, pretty people, and I'd rather go to the place where we're all chunky and nobody gives a fuck. So
everywhere I go, it's chunky.
No, I mean, there's all kinds of people in Planet Fitness. There's people that are really overweight, and they're, you know, in there trying to like walk off and work on shit. There's a woman that shows up every morning right after I do, and she's pretty hefty. And she gets right over there next to the guys and me that are using the fucking arm machines and shit. And she does shit and, you know, she does like planks and everything in this little routine she does. And she does some like pull down shit and curl shit and off the machines. Honestly, and she just gets right up in there amongst us. Nobody nobody looks at her twice. Nobody bothers her. I don't know. I live in a good area.
That's honestly what my biggest concern about going to a public club like that is the harassment I would get because I'm a fat person. They don't know that, you've lost 30, 40, 50 pounds, that you're working your ass off.
Yeah, see, that's
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 the
the
thing
problem.
about Planet Fitness, Jenny. If you were in there and somebody did that to you, they would kick them out. They literally have a no judgment rule.
Yeah, see,
like if
that's my
someone
problem,
talks
though,
shit to
is,
you
like,
inside Planet Fitness, you go tell them, they will kick them out. It's
see,
not
I want
allowed in there.
I want a place that doesn't have the toxic gym culture, but at least has the equipment, though. Like, can I have
but you're
something
not going
in
to
the
find
middle?
that because it's leaned more towards the more professional gyms where all the people are staring at themselves in the mirrors all day. Like that's what you're.
But that's
It's
what I
either
hate. That's
Planet
what I'm
Fitness
saying.
or assholes.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's a problem because, like,
Yeah,
because we need good equipment. Like, because people want to, like, if I want to be a good lifter, but I also don't want to have toxic bro culture, like, we should still be able to have that.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Agreed.
why don't we have that? Like,
You
why
know,
do we
when
have to have like good like atmospheres with like shitty equipment?
Yeah.
My nephew Justin just gave me I don't know the official name for it. It's one of those. It's like triangular bars, and it clamps to the rear wheel, and then it has some hydraulic thing that stiffens up the resistance for a bicycle at home. Clamps to the rear.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, it clamps to the rear part of the bicycle, so you can make it a stationary bike.
Yeah.
Yes.
He just gave me one of those that fits my bike, so I'm gonna get to.
Oh, nice.
It's like a stationary bike stand or something
See,
like
if
that.
I
That's what it's
had money, I would just buy a squat rack and a platform. But I don't have money.
I've never had that kind of money. I don't have that kind of room.
That's a lot of money.
At cardio rehab, I was up to doing 4 or 5 miles a session, and I want to get that up to 10 miles and see what I can do.
Bye,
Ollie has to go, so everybody say goodbye to Ollie. Bye, buddy.
Have a good night, guys. Really stoned, and it's really
Bye,
late.
Ollie.
I might be on vacation, but I still gotta take off.
Yeah, go get some rest, dude. It was nice seeing you.
Have a good one.
Hardy.
Peace out. Take the bus, you lazy twat.
What?
Who are you talking about, a lazy twat, Stool? Don't make me kick you out of here.
Oh, it's
we
just
don't use twat like that.
It's just stool. We can ignore him.
I know, but I'm just giving him a warning. I don't like that kind of shit. Somebody might take that offensive, and I don't like it.
We do all need personal fitness submarines.
Yes, I mean, if I had my own personal fitness submarine, well, first it would be landlocked in the desert, but I could still use the inside of it as a fitness.
As long as it has a squat rack and a deadlift platform, we're fine.
Right.
Just those are well, okay. I need 3 things. I need a squat rack.
Yeah.
I need a deadlift platform. And what was the third thing? Oh, bench press.
Oh yeah, well you got to have the bench press. Fuck yeah.
But I can use the squat rack for that if I just get the little bench to put under the squat rack.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But so I need a bench and a squat rack and a platform, and then I can do everything I want. Then I'm fine.
And you can have a free form squat rack, but that also has the safety bar all the way down low.
Yeah, I'm on a second floor.
It stops like this far because nobody's gonna go that low. Your body doesn't go that low in a squat. Bottom line.
Yeah.
But I have seen those where it still leaves it free, so you're still free to, because you're right, your body doesn't go straight up and down. That's fucking impossible.
Yeah. The guardrails are fine, but
not where it's on it, that hydraulic shit to catch it.
Yeah, because that's
I don't even know how you guys would do that anyways.
Yeah, those
I've
are not
watched
safe
them
to
before. No, look, my brother went into a Planet Fitness with this guy that had a membership, and he took him in there, and the guy really needed to go work out, and Richard was like, well, I don't need to, but I'm going to go in with him just to encourage him. So he went with him for a few months, and he lifted some, I don't know, he's trying to squat some huge amount at Planet Fitness, and the way the bars were fucked him up, and it pulled his back. And he went in there all the time and did the same amount of weight. It wasn't like a new weight for him, but that angle of the bars, like you were saying,
you gotta
the way
have it free, so
it
that
fucked him
your
up.
body can do it the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, it's not right.
Especially tall people have a hard time squatting because their femurs are too long. so like their balance is off. They have to lean a lot more forward to stay balanced because of their long femurs. They're like leaning backwards.
That makes sense.
Whereas someone like me, I'm super short, so squatting is great for me because I have short femurs. So I'm like right over my center of gravity when I squat.
Yeah, see, I'm all legs. You guys don't know because you don't really see me standing, but
yeah, the legs make it hard to squat.
I have a very short torso, and I'm all fucking legs.
Yeah, legs make it hard to squat well.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it's true. Even with no weight on me, it makes it difficult to squat. Yeah, you're right, it does. I never thought about it like that, but yeah.
Body mechanics are fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, it absolutely would have an influence on it.
My legs are so long that if my older brother Gary, who's the same height as me, if I get into his car, I can't because the seat is too far up. I have to move it all the way to the back before my legs will fit.
Dude, I went to go. Heather was like, "Hey, Mr. B, can you go run to my house? Because she lives like literally 3 minutes from work, right? Can you run to my house real quick and stick this underneath the big gear? She's got like a motor gear sitting on her front porch. Stick it underneath there. The kids left their key at home, and they're gonna be home from school like such and such time. Can you get it there before then?" I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "Wait a minute, no, I can't." And she goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because there's not a gas station on the way." And my truck's on E, like I have to go to the gas station. I just forgot to do it yesterday. And she's like, "Here, take my car." Oh my God. She's 5 foot tall. And I'm all legs. And she is not.
She is the same size as me. For some reason, why was I thinking she was tall?
No, she's 5 foot fucking tall. Maybe
she's
5'1".
My size.
She's really short.
Okay.
Anyways.
We can be buddies then.
But so her body is proportionate to like, you know, her torso compared to her legs are not far off. You know, she's in the middle where so I go to get in her car and I'm like this. What the fuck? Yeah. My knees wouldn't even go because they stopped on the dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
I was
how
like,
I have to sit too.
So I got my knee up and I got in there and I was like, I don't want to move her seat. And I was like, oh, I can't drive like this.
I wish so much that I was like 5'6".
Who was
maybe 5'7". My mom was 5'8" though, so.
Ford Echo. Anyways.
Stool, your country doesn't exist, so. Just kidding, we love you.
We do love you.
Even if your country doesn't exist.
Got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm hot for teacher. So bad. Anyway.
Curry you? Yeah, I'm only 5 feet tall. Because I had too much estrogen during puberty and I was short. Because that's what estrogen does to you.
You know what's funny, Ben?
Do you think it would ever be possible that they'd learn how to unlock the plates and let people grow further?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
All right.
Another thought I had for trans women when they start HRT is, could you imagine if there would be any benefit to people going on HGH, human growth hormone?
That'd be dangerous.
Really?
Yeah. Because with like acromegaly and stuff, you get problems with your heart. Like your heart's the big concern.
I was thinking, how about even in like a low dose, so that it's more of an encouragement than.
I think you're still worried about heart cardiomegaly. That's the problem.
Okay.
Still, that is just mean. He's not a dwarf. What he lacks in stature, he makes up for in brains. And you can't touch that shit, and you know it. So back up, Tolly. It doesn't matter.
I also don't need to be tall to get under your armpit. So
and by the way, 2 of the providers I work for are much shorter than me, and they're amazing. It doesn't matter what fucking height you are when you.
I actually think
doctor.
I've
met a lot of short doctors in my time that were amazing.
I actually have a more of an advantage to check your armpit because I can fit under your armpit.
Yes, you can just do this, and his head will be right here.
The only doctoring that matters how big the doctor is if you're an orthopedic surgeon.
And there's still like some small women that are like bomb ass orthopedic surgeons, but they're also
They'll
like
break
really
them bones,
buff.
bitches. That's right.
They're buff, and they have to make.
Those
Yeah, those
fuckers are
ortho
crazy,
girls
man.
like they have to make like, I mean, anyone in ortho has to make weightlifting like a priority in their life because that's part of their career.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally have to
Yeah.
be able to
Whack with
manipulate and
sledgehammers.
break and cut and blah blah blah. Yeah, saw blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
So like they have to go to the gym. That's part of
If you're squeamish about surgery and they invite you to come in and watch surgery, go do it. Say yes, unless it's an orthopedic procedure. You do not want to see them work on you as your first thing to see.
Look, it's making my legs hurt because I saw an orthopedic surgery on somebody who like broke their fucking bone or something, and I kind of walked in on someone else watching it in the middle, so I didn't get to catch the beginning. But they had to like, it was like an old injury or something. They had to re-break their leg, and it was just like, oh,
the first surgery I saw
it's hurting
was
my leg right now thinking about it.
Yeah.
the first surgery I saw was in the mid '70s when it was a fairly new procedure. I was studying medical photography, and so getting in there and actually doing it is part of the teaching. And my first was hip replacement. And okay, fine, the incision's not bad. Retracting the tissues is not so bad. But when they started grinding down the cup of the hip with this big appliance that they kind of it reminded me of
like a giant weed grinder on your fucking hip bone.
It reminds me of this tool that you stick in a faucet and it grinds down the seat of the faucet to make it flat again. Except this is making a cup shape to fit the appliance. And then the other part was once they had the ball of the femur cut off, when they insert the big long thing, that's this big down the center.
Insert the big long thing.
I don't know its official name. It's the replacement part that
I'm
goes.
not going there.
Jenny, I know you love to insert the big long thing.
Yeah, she would love to insert big long things.
Yes, I would. I really would. Sure.
Ben, don't get us started on that shit. We're all going to sex now. God damn it, here we go.
Jenny's already here. I did not start.
Jenny's always there, Ben.
And then for somebody special like you, I would be happy with alternative means too, Sean. So give me a call, kid.
Holy crap, Batman. To kick both of y'all off. No, pretty much just Jenny.
The first surgery I ever watched.
Are you blushing?
Eye surgery.
No, you're not blushing, are you?
Eye surgeries are rough to watch.
Ben's like
anyone of a 5'8".
Ben's college boy. He's heard everything. You can't make Ben blush like that.
Yeah.
Titan said the vasectomy I saw, a couple had 4 kids. Wife said it was that or condoms. She couldn't take the pill. He was not a happy camper. I'll have you know, actually, to you, my father, after I was born, had a vasectomy because my mom was Roman Catholic and didn't believe in contraception, and I was number 7. We thought only 6. But anyways, so my dad had a vasectomy, and it was not that bad on him. I mean, he was sore, and he put an ice pack on his balls and stuff, wherever they clip wherever at. But otherwise, it wasn't really. But he was a tough guy too. I mean, he was a Navy SEAL, so maybe he just took the pain better than most guys. But, yeah. I mean, I don't remember that because I was too young. But my brothers and sisters told me that he didn't act much different. He was just walking and sitting more carefully.
So, B, how do you feel knowing that your father took one look at you and decided to whack it off?
Oh, my brothers had me convinced for 2 weeks that I was adopted. That I was there was this group of poor kids, and my parents decided they wanted one more child, but dad couldn't have, or mom couldn't have kids anymore or something like that. And they went and I was like, but I look just like Susan. And they were like, yeah, they went and found a baby that looked like Susan. That's why you look so much like her. You're not related to us. And for 2 weeks, they had me going. Because the kicker was this. They said, don't say anything to mom. It would break her heart if she knew that you found this out. So I didn't say anything to her for 2 weeks. I was fucking 5 years old, and I was totally convinced I was adopted.
See, that's funny, but it's also
So finally, at the end of the 2 weeks, I couldn't fucking take it anymore. And I just like walked in the kitchen crying. And my mom was like, oh my God, what's wrong? You know, because I was always like happy run around kid and I'm crying. And I told her, you know, I know. And she was like, you know what? And I said, I'm not supposed to say. She goes, well, you can tell me anything. You know that. And I said, I'm not supposed to say that I'm adopted, but I know. And she was like, what? And I said, yeah, I'm adopted. She's like, no, you aren't. And I said, I'm not. And she said, no, I clearly remember giving birth to you and carrying you home from the hospital. Pretty sure you're not adopted. And then I was like, really? And she's like, yes. So she gave me like a piece of candy or something, told me to go play. And as I was going out the back door, I heard, boys kitchen now. My mom was pissed.
And then she probably told Richard, no, Richard,
their
you are
asses. She beat their asses up one side and down the other for that shit.
A hot beef injection.
Oh my God, you guys. I traumatized my sister when she was 11. We were arguing. I told her I wish my parents had never adopted you. Then begged her not to get me in trouble for telling her. See, shit's not funny though. Like that fucked me up when I was a kid. That was some serious shit. Because even when I was little, like my family was always pretty tight knit and we all really loved it. Even if we fought, we still loved each other. And we would defend each other to the end of our lives. So when they told me, like, that just hurt, man. Like, that hurt bad.
Now, see, being the youngest in a family that already had 3 teenagers when I was born, I think before I even learned to talk, I had figured out that any one of them would lie their ass off and throw anyone else under the bus to get out of trouble.
No, that was my brother Keel. Yeah, that motherfucker. It was almost always him. Like my if something happened around the house, something got broke, something disappeared, whatever happened, my dad would yell front and center. And no matter where we were, we had to stop what we were doing and line up in the position of attention, oldest to youngest. And we had to stand there while he berated us and asked who did it and started threatening to beat. And then he'd pull this big 70s belt off of his fucking pants. And he'd say, better tell me now. I'm gonna start at one end and go to the other. And Keel would just stand there and he would never say a fucking word. And he always started with me because I was the youngest and he knew it was going to hurt the rest of them. So then my sister Susan and my brother Richard, who also happened to be the closest people I've ever been to in my life, they would stand up and go, I did it. And everybody knew it was fucking Keel. And he would just stand there in the middle like, not me. I'm not going to take that beating. And he would let us all fucking burn, man. And so my sister and my brother would stand up and they'd lie and say they did it. And Dad would beat the shit out of them with that belt in front of everybody because they got sick of me getting beat. So when people threaten to beat my ass, like I'll beat you up. I'm like, bitch, come on. I've had my ass beat. I've been knocked down, kicked around, punched. You can't scare me like that. You better, as long as I don't have my glasses on my face, I'm really not scared.
You know, people say it and you kind of don't believe it until, you know, you have your own memory. But I can literally think back and I can feel the intensity of that leather belt on your bare ass that my dad would.
There's nothing like it, Jenny. Nothing like it.
Right this moment. It's just, it burns in and just rips your brain apart. I
can remember the exact feeling and different, like my ass is starting to like kind of ache right now. I'm way too empathetic. My whole body is. I can remember the difference between the rubber spatula, the wooden spoon, the metal big pancake turner with holes, and the belt. I distinctly, I've even been spanked with a magazine before because I tried to stick one down my pants so it didn't hurt as bad. And my mom saw the magazine and she pulled it out and pulled my pants down and spanked me with that instead. That was the best one ever, by the way. Always prefer the magazine if you have a choice.
Yeah, a lot of flexibility.
But my mom, it was actually kind of funny, Jenny, because she had this drawer. And now, mind you, she's a single parent and had been for years because my dad was in the Navy. By the time he got out of the Navy, he wasn't home. He was at the bar, and then she kicked him out. So she was a single mom of 6 kids for like she had the first one at 19 years old. So she was just always a mom, you know what I mean? So she just couldn't take any shit because we would try to run over her. Like, honestly, we would. And every time we got our asses spanked by mom, we fucking deserved it. I mean, it was something big. Like we endangered someone's life. We endangered our own life. We almost burned something down. Like she was not going to play, and she was not going to let us run that household. But so she had a drawer in the kitchen, and if you face the sink, it was just to the right of the sink between the sink and the refrigerator, and there was that top drawer, and she'd pull that out and she'd reach behind her and go. And it was like a lottery. Like, please not the metal pancake turner. Please not the pedal. Wooden spoon score. Like it turned into like we thought it was funny after a while because we got our asses spanked so much it just didn't really hurt anymore. You know, we were like, all right, you know, you cry a little bit because your feelings hurt and you walk away. Like, fuck it. That didn't even hurt anymore, man.
I did one really bad thing, and I have no recollection of being punished for it, which I think is weird. I burned down our garage. Well, my
we never did anything that serious. Like we never.
It was
nothing that. I mean, we did some stupid shit though.
They gave me a magnifying glass for my birthday. I was like 6 or 7, and I learned rather quickly that you can focus the light rays and make stuff really hot and smoke. And I did it to the side of the garage, and it just didn't stop.
I'll be right back.
I was just a dumb kid. It wasn't my fault.
No, you were a really smart kid, but it still wasn't your fault.
I'm down a rabbit hole now on the internets.
Oh, those are usually the best.
It's the best rabbit hole. It's about fall-themed soups and stews. Because I love fall. Fall is my favorite season. And I love to just go crazy with the theme. And so I love making soups and stews. And I love all the fall drinks and like all the treats and stuff. So I'm just like enjoying this. So
Sweater dresses.
Yeah, not the dresses part, but the sweaters, yes. Except I'm in Arizona, so I have to pretend like the weather is like
Jenny,
autumn.
sweater dresses were never cool. I'm sorry.
Well,
those things are horrid.
Till you wear one.
Ah.
Nice.
I don't know. It's something about the word dress. Ah.
Yeah, I don't like those. Kilt,
they're great.
Yes.
They're great on a nice ass.
Tunic,
or
yes.
On
Robe,
a great body,
yes.
Or
dress, no.
Sometimes it'll make a woman look classy or slutty or whatever. But no,
those are different emotions.
Besides
those are
that,
very different.
Not really into dresses.
Those are only slightly different depending on the day.
Fact.
I can be classy and slutty at the same time if I want
Exactly, see?
I have no doubt about that, Ben. I have no doubt about that.
I want to make fall soups. I really do.
Do it, make soup.
I used to make a soup that had a butternut squash. I don't remember the recipe anymore. Had a butternut squash puree for the liquid part of it.
Yeah, that sounds so good.
Oh my god, it was amazing. And they put like some kind of sauce. Might have been like a really sagey sausage in it, and like red onions, all those fall harvest kind of foods, you know.
I love
like
the
squash
fall
and shit in it.
Everything.
Oh yeah, it's the bomb, man.
I love fall themed everything.
Lentil soup, bean soup, pea soup, chicken soup.
I don't like lentils.
Veggie soup.
Yeah.
Wow.
I also want to make some mulled wine and some spiced cider.
If you learn to like lentils, you'll be more comfortable wearing a dress.
I love lentils, but I also don't.
Oh, is that the way it is? Like the movie? Shut up, Jenny. I totally caught that. Lentil. Barbara.
I don't like any kinds of beans.
Everybody else except for Purple is like, we don't know what you're talking about right now.
Not even beans and rice?
No, I don't like beans.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't pay too much attention. I'm having to fill out forms for my appointment tomorrow.
You're fine. You're fine, sweetheart.
You're fine. I just love food.
The only beans by name that I'll eat are green beans.
Have you ever had Roma green beans?
Good night, Randy.
I don't think so.
So they also get called flat beans. It's just a bean in a pod, but they're flat and broad. And
yeah, I have had those. Those are really good.
Far more tender than a green bean pod.
Yeah.
And I just love the fuck out of them.
See, I've heard them called Italian green beans.
A who green bean?
Italian green beans.
Yeah, yeah.
At least she didn't say Italian. I would have cried. Please, no one
Who
ever
the
say that in
fuck
my
says
presence.
Italian? It's
Who says
Italian.
The chick at
Italian?
work says it. She says she's from freaking Pennsylvania. She says Italian, and I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!
People from Pennsylvania
You
say
don't
stuff
say
all kinds of
Italy
weird.
idly."
Idly.
That was common. I remember using Italian
Ugh.
corrected by an Italian.
Oh yeah, no, I grew up in that with that shit. That's why it drives me nuts because I am Italian. May only be a third of me, but a third of me to a quarter of me is Italian.
When you're
And I
talking
was
about the
raised by an
place or the
Italian mother,
person,
and
it
she was
sounds
raised by
one
an Italian
way.
mother. So when people like say idly, or Italian, I'm like, is it idly? No.
Hey, I have
Italy
Why it's hard for you
and
people to say.
Italian.
I have to shift gears here and do a shout out. LL Cool
Do it.
J is on Jimmy Kimmel right now, and he's wearing a bright pink sweatsuit, top to bottom.
Love that.
And
Well, I don't know why you expect me to be shocked right now.
Well, I'm not expecting shock, but that's just really brave of him that men will get so harassed for just wearing pink stupidly.
Oh, but you know what though? Yeah, but you rich men. It's okay if you're rich.
Well, he could also kick anybody's ass on the planet.
Well, he's also probably got bodyguards, so
Yeah.
That's why they can do that shit.
I want to make
Ben?
soup so bad. Yeah.
How long does it take for ocular swelling to go away? I'm pretty sure the kiddo elbow checked me while we were sleeping last night. My eyelid
probably a
has
couple
been
days.
swollen all day.
Yeah, probably a couple
It
days.
hurts. Okay.
You try ice packs?
No, I try not to put ice anywhere near me because my bones get cold and then they hurt.
Can you take
Fair enough.
ibuprofen?
I probably could.
Yeah, that could help you.
Naproxen.
Okay. Naproxen. I've got a fuck ton of that.
Can you take an NSAID? That's not aspirin. all of them have anti-inflammatory properties,
Yeah.
right, Ben?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's just naproxen lasts longer than
It does. I actually preferred before I found out that I can't take NSAIDs anymore.
Yeah, I
my
was actually
preference was
prescribed.
naproxen sodium.
Yeah. I was
I'm
prescribed
worried about
naproxen for a different problem that I don't
my
take.
younger
Oh, there you
brother.
go.
Yeah,
You
you
take
can
some
use
of
that.
I mean, don't take too much. Go with the
Well,
directions.
yeah.
but yeah.
I'm worried about my younger brother. He takes naproxen way too much. He takes, but him and his wife go down to Mexico every winter, and they bring back these 500 milligram bottles of naproxen, which is
Oh God.
100 over the OTC
Yes.
dosing.
Yes.
But he's taking those every day, and it's
Yeah,
like, God,
that's
this is tearing your heart to shreds.
yeah.
It'll destroy your fucking kidneys.
I'm most worried. The first thing that's gonna go is his stomach. That's
Well, yeah.
number one. He's gonna get ulcers.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
not very good
Stomach,
at
and then
listening to anybody who knows more than him, because nobody knows more than him. One of
I
those-
want soup so bad.
order
I
some
have-
soup,
I've
dude.
been-
No, it's
No,
too
I
late
just
now.
need to make some, but also I have like no time to go shopping. I'm working every day until Monday. I get Monday off, so I don't know if I'll be able to make beers and bros this week because Fridays are surgery days.
Yeah,
so I
no,
don't
that's
know how
fine.
many surgeries we have on
Do what
Friday.
you got to do, bro.
And then I think like we're on call this weekend, so I guess I don't know what we're doing Saturday, but I know Sunday they popped the idea that we have 2 C-sections on Sunday. So I don't know what other procedures we got all weekend, so it's just gonna be a time.
Yeah.
So
Why would they schedule something like that on a Sunday?
because they need doctors to do the C-sections.
Also, you they only have so many operating rooms per hospital too, so they have to plan out
Yeah,
when the operations are going to happen.
Especially now with COVID.
And then when the doctors and the specialist that has to be there and the surgeon or whatever is available, so you take what
Yeah.
you can get.
Yeah.
A lot. If it has to be done right away, you take what you can get.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
When I had my surgery, the big surgery,
The
they
big
did it.
surgery.
They did it on a Sunday, a holiday weekend Sunday, Memorial Day,
Wow.
and yeah, it's easy to remember when it happened. And I at first thought that was really weird, but then I realized, well, they got all these people and personnel and nothing else is going on, so they can, just do it. And,
Yeah.
And I'm sure the hospital appreciates the extra money and all that stuff, but it would just seem weird to be getting a procedure on a Sunday.
Hey,
Yeah, that does seem weird.
speaking of procedures, guess what referral I just sent in so I can have a consultation?
Your top surgery?
Yeah. Pretty excited about it. I mean, it's going to be like next April or May, but like Ben was talking about, it'll benefit me to wait anyway. So
yeah, waiting is going to be the best.
So I sent in the
jealous,
order for a consultation, and it's got all the codes on it for all of it, right? And so I'm going to go do the consultation and find out if I need to do a prior authorization. And Marissa's already got all the paperwork ready, and she can just put it in like she has it already.
Super jealous, but it's fine. I'll get over it.
Yeah, well, you're way smarter than me, so just keep that.
It's also, I have no money right now because I'm poor.
I don't either, but I do. What I do have is
But you have insurance.
I have $13,500 in collateral on my truck. I can borrow whenever I want. That's what I do have.
Well, see, I have student loans,
and I have a $2,500 credit card, and
so I'm in deep financial shit and have crappy insurance. So
if I have to take out a personal loan, my house will be paid off. One more payment, and I'm done.
Yeah, no, I can't take out more money right now. I'm already
Oh no, I would not do it if I was you.
Even with the military scholarship, I'm still over 100 grand.
Yeah, I know.
I
was thinking closer to 2, but okay.
I'm not active duty right now.
What's that?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm reserves until I graduate. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so I have student health insurance, which is pretty crappy.
That sounds awful. I'm sorry that's happening.
It's fine. I'm gonna make doctor money someday.
Think though. Think. You being delayed just means they're just gonna keep improving on stuff.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is. Everything gets better. Every couple of years, everything gets better.
It does. So. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Ben, what you were talking about.
You might be able to knock out a bunch of shit all at one time and then just fucking be done with it.
Ben, what you were talking about earlier, I just want to touch back on. I would so love to see you actually get your good, solid internal med practice going, and for it to have a subspecialty for yourself working with trans folks. I just think that somebody with your knowledge and your level of compassion and understanding and would just be so marvelous to have in the business.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna do family medicine and just be primary care, everyone's home base for LGBTQ community.
You know what else Heather said about you, Ben? She said, and I'm going to tell you, when he gets sick of being of seeing patients, he's going to be an amazing fucking teacher. He's already got the knack for it.
Oh yeah, I've learned.
She said,
a lot.
Look at that for retirement. Teachers. Yeah, you can just teach for a living. Point and tell people what to do.
Definitely.
Because you're good at explaining things, and you do it thoroughly, and you're on point, and you want to make sure it's correct. And she's just like, that's fucking amazing. That's gonna be his retirement.
According to the church, I don't know anything though, and I'm just spreading misinformation.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I don't even think you're capable of doing that. You're so picky about saying things a certain way. I know, that's what I'm saying.
Everything that I say is either from what I've been taught, and sure, it might be disproven someday, but it's the current standards of care now.
Yeah.
And I read up on all this stuff from doctors who are the experts. So it's funny when people love to use the excuse that I'm only a student. It's like, but the information I'm giving isn't coming from my own ass. Like, it's coming from the people who taught me. And
it's coming from someone else's ass.
Yeah, it's like, so you're not debating me. You're debating
a lot of asses.
You're debating a lot of top level experts on these issues.
Yes.
You are operating as a doctor with supervision. You're still a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will be an actual doctor, but currently I am with supervision.
Yeah, and that's just part of the normal process.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Differently.
You want them to be able to practice with regular patients, but yet not have them die.
Some of the best doctors I've ever met in my life were residents and interns. You know,
Because they care.
Because they care, because they
their
have
heart's
fresh
still in
knowledge,
it.
fresh education. They haven't gotten stereotyped into this one way of dealing with
Well,
medicine.
it's not just that either, Jenny. It's just that a lot of them get tired, man. Like it's a lot more work than people see. People have this misconception that doctors, when they shut the doors, their job's over. No, the doctors, all the providers I work for, except for one, and she is horrible, and I will not recommend anybody to her. And when people call and say, do any doctors have availability? I say no, because fuck that shit. You're not taking care of your patients. I'm not going to fuck it. I know I'm being an asshole. Go find somebody that's going to give a shit about you. But anyways, the other two, we were talking about it. They're like, after 20 years of doing this, you start getting fucking tired. You hit 30, you're done. Like you are done, because they go home every evening. They work on charts. They wake up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They spend 2 or 3 hours working on charts. They work out. They come to work. Like that's what they do every fucking day. Weekends included. They're on call on the weekends. They end up at the hospital. They end up going and checking on a patient, all kinds of things. It's not a 9 to 5 fucking job like people think. It just doesn't work like that. And it's exhausting.
No.
Yeah.
It is exhausting. I see them every day as the week goes on. By Thursday, they're like Heather's like, I'm fucking done. And then she's like, I still have tomorrow. Like that's every week. It's like that.
That's why I'm so grumpy when I get home.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's physically and mentally exhausting. You're on your feet all fucking day. You have to think of 500 things for 20 patients. Yeah.
And I'm in a specialty I don't like.
I was trying to avoid that topic. I didn't want to keep bringing it up.
Again.
Yeah, no, it's better when you like what you're doing. Yeah. I'm just surviving because I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this specialty.
I know.
And it also depends on your attending, and like if you vibe well with your attending. I don't particularly vibe well with my attending right now. So
yeah, that's a problem.
Just like I miss internal medicine, even though I had some attendings on that I didn't really vibe with either. But it's fun.
Well, you're not going to get along perfectly with everybody.
You're not, and it's just that the problem is like I'm getting a new job every single month, like a brand new job. Like
what's your rotation?
General surgery.
Oh,
so that's gonna be more hell. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, but what's after that?
Sports med, but I chose that. That's an elective. I chose that.
Nice.
It's gonna be great. Sports med's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
hey, we're one step closer to that thing we like.
Yeah, the sports med it's family medicine. It's a subspecialty off of family medicine, so it's family medicine, but mostly musculoskeletal stuff. So it's pretty cool.
And then what after
bedtime, folks?
Yeah, it's your bedtime.
Soon. Go ahead, Jenny.
I was just wondering what after sports med.
Then I get a 2-week break, and then I go to psychiatry.
Oh, really? I guess I never thought they would put you through a psych.
Yeah, it's a core rotation. Everyone has to do it. You have to do psych.
How do you feel about it?
I'm fine doing psych. Yeah, it's not something I'm good at, but it's necessary. It's necessary for everyone to learn it.
Well, no, it's good though, because you need to know when you have a patient that's not.
Yeah, it's a very different specialty from everything else in that like your communication skills are your physical examination skills. Like being able to ask questions in just the right way to actually get a helpful answer is really difficult to do. So like psychiatrists and psychologists and anyone who's in a type of therapy or like psych-related field, like that's a hard thing to do, to be able to be on that level with a person and be able to get information. And because asking questions is hard. And like, especially when you're trying to get very detailed information from very not detailed answers, sometimes it's very difficult to do that well. So it's a new challenge that like I don't think a lot of people are prepared for.
Have you ever been through therapy on yourself?
Oh yeah, I love therapy.
Okay. Well, that gives you a big leg up, that you've experienced the process.
I think everyone should do it. It's just not accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
I wish it was accessible for everybody.
I think people should all be required to go through therapy at some point in their young adulthood. I think it would if it actually took hold in an individual, it can so change how they relate to the world and how they communicate and how they care about other people. You know,
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've tried 3 different therapists. Got nothing out of it.
See, that's the problem. You got to find the right therapist.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been through 3 of them and I got nothing,
it's
and I
work.
spent a lot of money.
It takes time to find like the right one, but you got to find the right one.
Yeah, and I have to do that now anyways, so I contacted a couple of local
getting
places.
passed on that I'm with somebody and they say, oh, well, I think we're entering an area that I'm really not good at. I think we need to send you to somebody more experienced. So, wait a minute. How fucking crazy am I?
You
Yeah,
are
I'm
kind of
trying-
crazy, Jenny, so you're fucked.
Yeah. Unfortunately, therapy is a relationship, and it's really hard to find, a therapist that you match with right. I've had some really good therapists, and I've had some really sucky ones, and I've had 2 that I don't think they should have been in the field at all. One of them just went on all the time about the book he was writing. I don't think he ever listened to his patients.
No,
Gross.
All right.
It's bedtime.
Anybody have anything to shill before I kill this?
I don't know. We got 11 minutes to hit a solid 4 hours.
I do that all the time. I'm not impressed by that. Sorry, I'm just not. Ben, what do you got to shill?
Nothing really, because I'm on a rotation, so you're not going to be seeing a lot of me for 2 months.
No, that's not good. Put your thumbs down. I like hanging
Sorry,
out with you.
guys, but I'm going to try to do things on my days off, and I'm going to try to have pre-recorded content. But otherwise, like, I might be MIA from live streams for a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Ben, just take care of you.
yeah, I got to study
that's really
OB-GYN.
the point. That's really the point.
So, you'll see a little bit of me, but not much.
So, Purple, you will find Purple Thursday night. What time are you doing it, Purple? Did you change that permanently?
Yeah, it's now Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Time.
Okay, so
it's
11
2 hours
p.m.
earlier
Eastern.
than it used to be.
Okay, so 11 p.m. Eastern instead of 1 a.m. That's good. Yeah, so go over to Purple's tomorrow night and check that out, and they will have a good conversation going for hours, which I always have to miss because I have to be in bed, and Friday morning is my gym morning. So
Hey,
sorry I don't ever see you anymore.
Who's your guest panelist tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yes, we're going to have a
and broadcast
BMW mechanic.
Technician, please.
Technician. Anyways, excellent. And Catnip, keep making those damn dice bags. They're awesome.
You say that, and I haven't picked it up in like a week.
That's it. We're ending this right now. So,
because I've done all of my projects except for one, and I'm putting that one off so hard because I just don't want to touch it.
Well, don't I get the show?
Yeah, let
Go ahead,
share.
Jenny.
She's got more shit than I do.
Well, I surprise, tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Central Time, I'm going to be doing this show called Purple Rhymes with Orange. I'm not sure the theme tomorrow. Maybe we'll do something like National Butt Plug Day or something.
Well, that sounds like fun. I want to be there.
Actually,
today was National Coffee Day.
The show is called Midnight Mid-America, but
it's more like midnight in the middle of the Atlantic.
So yeah, more like late night Mid-America now.
Midnight Mid-America sounds so much better.
I know, it was great, wasn't it?
Well, you can still call it that. I mean, they call it the Tonight Show. Well, what part of tonight?
Yeah, tonight. It's every night.
And you got the late show with Jimmy Kimmel.
And
after the Tonight Show.
If you're starting it at 10 Central, it's midnight somewhere further east.
I don't think it's midnight in anything that can properly be called the United States, though.
But hear me out. How long do you usually stream for?
Well, that's part of what's moving it up is I also have to limit Thursday nights to be only about a 2-hour stream. Because the whole point is I'm supposed to be wrapping it up by midnight now because I'm working with the sleep psychologist and supposed to be getting to bed at a consistent hour.
What
Ah.
So that still works.
what are the Virgin Islands in?
But no, if you're ending at midnight, that still works because you're ending at midnight, Mid-America.
Okay.
So I'd keep the name because you're still ending at midnight.
Yeah, and no matter what you call it, we're going to call it midnight. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so now that we've had a nice conversation about the
oh,
name
okay.
of that.
And the other thing,
It's
the other
bedtime.
thing I can show is that I'm starting the process of ripping apart my entire dashboard because I'm going to be replacing one of the large wire harness sections and installing a couple of factory options on the car that this particular car didn't come with, but I want. So I'm going to be taking them off the old car and putting them on the new car. So I'll actually have two cars disassembled at the same time. How about that?
Yep.
And
Yes, you
when I'm
will.
done, I won't have any extra parts. I promise.
I'm gonna put them all on the vehicle, all the ones that go. Okay, so
I'm not done. And then I'm doing.
oh my God,
Then I'm
Jenny!
changing the wipers and I'm changing the headlight and turn signal assemblies because
I said chill. I didn't say you have a 30-minute
fogged
discussion
up
about
and
a
stuff.
BMW.
And then we're going to be changing wheels and tires, and
Kill you.
and I think I'm going to equip the rear lights with LEDs. And if I solder a wire between two patch panels on the tail light, it'll have more. It'll have two bulbs lighting up at the same time when I hit the brakes instead of just one. So it'll be
Well,
bright.
that's great. Okay, so thank you guys for coming tonight.
Wait.
I really appreciate it.
And I'm going to change
And-
the side view mirrors because I got a cooler set on the other car. Than
You know the game, right, Ben? The game
Yeah.
is Jenny and Purple try to get my stream to keep going because they know I'm
But no,
very
no,
polite and
but-
I will sit here and listen.
5
But
minutes.
now we're not doing that anymore.
But B, one more
So,
thing. We actually missed.
Everybody in the panel, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I always appreciate you guys. I love the conversation. It's always funny and witty and informative.
You know, I also
everybody in the chat, I really appreciate you guys coming. You know, I always truly do, even though Jenny's being an asshole right now. I do truly appreciate you guys coming by every time and hanging out, and I appreciate the conversation you guys always have in the chat.
Then I have to drive to the DMV and get it registered with the new plates and stuff.
And so then, everybody, everybody out there, I hope you have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another, and have some peace in your life.